There's nothing like the sun in California that makes you want to reflect on things like snagging ground balls and taking baseball to the heart. They'll be swinging free and easy tonight at Raley Field in Sacramento. Hey, it's the Cats Whiskers tonight on the Minor League Baseball Game of the Week. The Sacramento River flows just beyond the left field wall at Raley Field in Sacramento. And tonight, with the Tower Bridge towering in the background, baseball fans will see a good matchup between the Sacramento River Cats and the Las Vegas 51s. You can see Sacramento leads the Northern Division by just a couple of games. On the other hand, in the South, Las Vegas threatening to run away from El Paso. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dick Gabriel, along with former big league infielder Doug Flynn, two of the best teams the Pacific Coast League has to offer.
Well, you're right, Dick. And you see one team that's lost 12 players since the beginning of the season. That's Las Vegas, still playing well. And Sacramento has a bunch of players that are just good quality players.
And both of these teams with terrific cleanup hitters.
They really do. Andrew Brown, who'll be hitting fourth, is just a tremendous player. He's coming in with a .358 batting average. He has 13 home runs. He's a great right fielder. Spent a lot of time in the big leagues. He's got 150 at-bats up there. And then you look on the other side, and their fourth place hitter, the tallest player, probably as a position player in the PCL, maybe in all of baseball right now, 6'8" Nate Fryman, leads the PCL with 68 RBIs. This is a man's man.
Las Vegas has a terrific right-hander who will try to shut him down. For more on him, let's go downstairs to Lauren Gardner.
Well, absolutely, Dick. I did speak with Las Vegas manager Wally Backman about the young prospect, 22-year-old Noah Syndergaard, that was drafted in 2010 by the Toronto Blue Jays and came to the Mets about 2 years ago as part of the R.A. Dickey trade. Now, Backman told us the biggest challenge that he faces for Syndergaard is his command. His last outing, he threw 25 pitches in the first inning. Only 2 of those were off-speed pitches, and he's practicing a little bit of tough love with his highly touted prospect, saying, I don't call any of the pitches. I want these guys to learn the game, so I let my pitcher and catcher come up with their own game plan and take it from there. He did say, guys, we should be in for a good show. He will let him stretch out to about 100 to 110 pitches tonight.
Thanks, Lauren. He also told us be ready for that first one and may top out at 98 miles an hour. First pitch, starting lineups coming up. Las Vegas and Sacramento next on the Minor League Baseball Game of the Week. Back at Raley Field in Sacramento, and as you can see, just a perfect night for baseball. Temperatures below 80 degrees, a slight breeze, and it's only going to get better tonight. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, and our partner downstairs, Lauren Gardner, who just a few moments ago had a chance to chat with the mayor of Sacramento.
Well, thanks, Dick. Kevin, a very exciting weekend here in Sacramento for all of sports, with the River Cats starting off a home stand, and then of course we have a lot going on around the city of Sacramento. Tell us what's happening.
Well, I'll tell you what, this morning, 9 o'clock, you think about the World Cup, the whole world's watching. USA is playing Germany. We got out of the very tough category of players by getting a tie and moving on, which was great. I was in De Beers and we went to Firestone. And just the energy in Sacramento and the love we have for sports was incredible. A lot of people were playing hooky from work this morning, but I wrote them a pass.
I think I saw a lot of that on Twitter. Now, a lot of people know about your storied career as a player in the NBA in Cleveland and in Phoenix, but what a lot of people don't know is that you were drafted by the Oakland A's. What kind of a place in your heart does this team have to you, and baseball in general?
I tell you what, I mean, believe it or not, baseball was my first love. And I was lucky enough to get a basketball scholarship to Cal and play both basketball and baseball in college and got drafted by the A's, as you mentioned. But I just love baseball. I mean, I'm a huge baseball fan. And, you know, I was telling Susan Savage just a few moments ago, there's only a couple places in the country that rival watching a baseball game here. And the Giants game in Pittsburgh, Pirates, and then here a River Cats game. It's nothing like it. Just proud that both West Sacramento and Sacramento share this very beautiful team.
Doesn't get much better than this, and you do have a bit of a baseball background. We saw you throw out the first pitch. How'd it feel? You look pretty good.
That was a strike right down the middle.
Yes, it was. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.
Kevin Johnson, the mayor, and not just figuratively, he is the mayor of Sacramento. He's a very popular guy, but he's also a man, Doug, who fought very hard to keep the NBA Sacramento Kings here in Sacramento. But the job they've done with this ballpark, like so many we've seen, in renovating and updating the creature comforts, and like a lot of the ballparks across the country, they have the tremendous vista, the backdrop, the view of downtown.
You know what impresses me, Dick, as much as anything, is the way they're making it a lot more fan-friendly. So when you come to the ballpark, you really don't have any bad seats. The way the seats now are angled right towards the pitcher's mound. In the old days, you could be sitting down the third base line, you'd be looking straight out to the outfield. Now they've got them all angled where you can enjoy the game. The food is so much better as you and I sit up here, and the aroma continues to come right through our nose. But I tell you what, AAA baseball, and I'm impressed with the PCL and the job that they've done, not only with the ballparks, but with everything in general.
Take a look now at how the Las Vegas 51s will come to the plate. Speedy leadoff man Matt Dendecker had a big pinch home run the last time out. You mentioned Andrew Brown, an average of .358. What a stick he is swinging. They'll be facing a right-hander, Josh Lindblom. They've already seen Lindblom twice this year have the 51s. He owns one victory over Las Vegas, coming in off a victory himself over Round Rock his last time out. So he's a guy who wants to get that ERA down, especially here at home. 5.26 with a 2-3 record here at Raleigh Field. So it's going to be a great matchup tonight. The two of the top teams in the PCL. And I was talking to Russ Langer, the outstanding play-by-play man for Las Vegas, and I said, is there a rivalry between these two teams? And by the way, Sacramento swept Vegas 4 games earlier this year. He said, not really a rivalry. They just like playing against each other because both teams have a lot of good players.
Well, I don't know if it was a rivalry or not, but I do know that the benches happened to clear once or twice in the last little time that they played. So you could call it a rivalry or not, but when you got good ball clubs, they're supposed to be. You look at the big leagues, the teams that are contenders, you will usually see a skirmish or two, and that's just because of respect and because you know that you've got to beat that ball club if you're going to advance in your division.
There's a good look at Matt Dendecker, 6'1", 210, out of Fort Lauderdale. That's where he was born. Played his college baseball for the Florida Gators. We are underway on an absolutely gorgeous night. You'll probably hear us say that more than once, but here in Northern California, that's what you'd expect. And this is not a town that's as chilly as some of the other towns in Northern California. Just perfect baseball weather tonight.
We were out around batting practice, and we were talking to a couple of the players and then with some of the coaches and managers, and they said tonight you couldn't have picked a better night to have a baseball game.
There's the berm. There are several here in this ballpark. Good breaking ball by Lindblom. Down the right field line, beyond the right center field fences, and in left. About 3,000 fans can fit into those grassy areas. Ballpark holds about 11,000 as well. Raleigh Field opened for business in the year 2000 and instantly marked itself as one of the best in the nation in terms of drawing crowds to minor league baseball.
Right now, second in the PCL in overall attendance, averaging about 77, almost 8,000 a ball game here in this beautiful facility. And you know, Dick, most of the AAA ball clubs we've been to have had some kind of renovation, and everyone is so proud in what it has done to the community.
Dendecker to Andy Perino, and there's one out.
Andy Perino has a nice nickname that all of us as fielders would like to have. They call him the Magician.
We're going to hope we can see why. Take a look at the way the River Cats will play defense tonight around the outfield. Shane Peterson, Nick Buss, Anthony Aliotti, Jose Martinez, Perino, Jake Elmore, and Nate Fryman. Ryan Ortiz behind the plate in defense of Josh Lindblom. Now one out. Matt Reynolds stands in. Reynolds the shortstop. Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, also played in the SEC at Arkansas.
Only with 20 at bats, hitting 400 right now, but
and that's why, absolutely, rips it into left center field. First base hit of the night in this young ball game.
what we're going to see tonight, Dick, is a lot of players who've been up and down with the big league team on both sides of the field. Las Vegas started the season 37-11, I believe. They had 12 of their players that were called away from the ball club. And when we talked earlier today with Steve Scarsoni about his ball club, he said, Doug, we just have a lot of guys that know how to play the game.
Wilmer Flores, non-drafted free agent signed by the Mets in 07 with a runner on and one out. 6'3", 205. As Doug mentioned, a dozen players have gone up to the big leagues already from Las Vegas. As the Mets keep struggling, they keep looking for young talent.
Flores just sent down from the big leagues.
Double play ball, Elmore, Perino, and Fryman. 4-6-3, and an impressive end to the inning for Sacramento. Bottom of the first coming up on the minor league baseball game of the week. Scoreless top of the first for Las Vegas. Now it's Sacramento's turn to come to the plate, and here's the way the River Cats look at tonight. With Nick Buss leading things off. You heard about Nate Fryman, all 6'8" of him, with a league-leading 68 runs batted in. Shane Peterson already has 8 3-hit games this year, and they'll be facing Noah Syndergaard. You heard Lauren talk about him a little earlier, and Doug, a lot of people think he is the best prospect, period, overall in the New York chain. They think Noah will be the next guy up and maybe can help right the Mets.
Yeah, we've been keeping an eye on him because this is probably their #1 prospect. Big kid, and as you heard earlier from Lauren, he's just had trouble with his command. Loves to throw his fastball. Of course, when you've got one that's close to 100 miles an hour, you can understand why. But hitters will start catching up to that if they see it over and over. So what they're hoping for tonight is that there will be a good variety of fastballs, changeups, and maybe a couple of sliders in there, as well as throwing strikes.
Here's the way Las Vegas will play defense behind Syndergaard, with Corey Vaughn in left field, the speedy Dendecker in center, and powerful Andrew Brown in right. Josh Satin, Matt Reynolds, Wilmer Flores, and Brandon Allen at first. Kevin Plawecki just up from Double-A ball behind the plate. And he'll be catching the big right-hander with that 6-4 record. Nick Buss to lead things off. One of 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight for Sacramento, as well as a couple of switch hitters. So right now it would be a total of 5 lefties against the right-hander.
Well, he doesn't hit 98, but 95 is not bad for your first pitch.
Comes right back with a fastball. I'll let you keep track of how many breaking pitches he throws tonight, but they want to see him learn the control of that fastball.
Well, right now would be a good time to try one of them, either change up or a breaking ball, just to see if he's got it working at all.
Short center field, Dendecker with an easy play, and there's 1 out.
So far, 3 straight fastballs, that one at 96 miles an hour, but 3 straight strikes too. So Wally Backman, a great player in his own right. Remember the '86 New York Met World Championship team. He's so fun. If you can't play for him, you can't play. He only expects you to come to the ballpark on time, play your butt off, and then that's it. That's the way he did it.
Did it really well, too.
Yes, he did.
Now Andrew Perino out of Brockport, New York, played for Lemoyne College. Drafted by the Padres, or rather played in the Padres organization, as well as the Oakland A's. He's been up in the bigs, but he was indeed drafted by the Padres in the 26th round in '07.
I was trying to get an idea or a comparison, since they do call him the magician, of someone who had played in the big leagues, and you heard things like Mark Belanger, the great shortstop of the Baltimore Orioles. They said he's just always in position and makes every play look routine.
As though he knows where the ball's going to go before it happens. So we want to get a good look at him tonight. Ran it in on him. Perino made his major league debut with the Padres back in 2011. Played short, third, second, outfield, just looking for a spot. Off speed, but ran it inside. Perino just the second player in the history of Lemoyne to make it to the major leagues.
The other being?
That I do not know. Do you?
No, but I'm going to find out.
I was going to say, put that fancy iPad to work.
How about me tonight?
Nice running grab in left field by Corey Vaughn as Perino fought it off. But as it hooked foul, Vaughn caught up with it, covered a lot of ground. 2 out.
Yeah, he made that play look routine, and it was almost going into the stands, but he got down the line very well.
Vaughn, another outstanding young prospect with a lot of promise. Shane Peterson's having a big year. Just a little bit overshadowed by the man in the on-deck circle, Nate Fryman, but you saw his numbers, including 42 runs batted in. .305 average with 5 home runs. Played his college ball at Long Beach State. Drafted originally by the Cardinals in the 2nd round. Part of the Matt Holliday trade in '09.
Good swing.
It's going to be interesting to see, though, 2nd and 3rd time through the lineups, assuming Syndergaard remains in the game, to see if they can start to catch up with that speed. Then we'll see if he can mix in the off-speed stuff a little bit more.
Right now, we've just seen the one breaking ball. Ow. I don't know if they get shin guard or not, but that they must have got
still
something.
A little bit startling.
And you're throwing it here tonight. Oh man,
it got masked. That's why you saw the plate umpire Brandon Missoon walk a new ball out to give that young man, Kevin Plawecki, a couple of extra seconds. Here's the 1-2 again. Goes away from him. Oh, somebody missed a shot at a one-handed grab, but I think he got the loose ball anyway. Spencer Flynn working first base. Chris Gonzalez at 3rd. There's Brandon behind the plate tonight. 1-2 again. Goes off speed but misses. Peterson made his big league debut last year with Oakland.
Well, what an at bat.
Battling.
Well, we did go to Lemoyne College, the Lemoyne College Dolphins, to find out how many players. And they've added a few, not very long, but you can see Jim DeShays, big left-handed pitcher, Tom Browning. But I'm guessing that wasn't Tom Browning.
No. Doubtful.
Oh, well, that could be. That's when he was at college there for a couple of years. And then Peter Hoy, John Ratliff, Scott Cassidy, Andy Perino, and Jim Wessinger. How about that?
That's impressive. Here's the 2-2.
Oh,
gets
good breaking
him
ball.
off speed. Absolutely outstanding breaking ball. First strikeout of the night for the big right-hander, and we'll go to the 2nd inning. No score in Sacramento between Las Vegas and the River Cats on the minor league baseball game of the week. Back in Sacramento at Raley Field, Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn. We're joined now by Mike Testa, who is a vice president, senior VP with the Sacramento Convention and Visitors Bureau. First of all, welcome, and thank you so much for having us. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
I got to first of all compliment you. Just an unbelievable ballpark here in Sacramento.
It really is. I'd love to take the credit for it, but the River Cats have just done an incredible job in Sacramento, and they're such an institution in the city, very well supported by the community.
That's where I was going next. What does this ball club mean to your community?
You know, since day one when this ballpark opened, people came out in droves to support it, and it's a minor league team, but we led the league in attendance for many years, and you can see tonight it's very crowded. So a very popular fixture very quickly in Sacramento.
I'd have to think there's there's got to be a lot of Major League ball clubs that are knocking your door down saying, if there's any opening here, we'd like to bring our ball club around.
Yeah, from a sports standpoint, Sacramento supports these groups very well, whether it's baseball or soccer. We've got USA Track and Field in town this week. So from a sports standpoint, Sacramento comes out and supports these things.
Andrew Brown leading things off for Las Vegas. And a nice hop into the mid of Jose Martinez. And there's one out. You mentioned from day one your crowds came out. You were without baseball here unbelievably for what, 25 years or something like that, and then it came back, and boy howdy.
A long time, and it's interesting because baseball started in Sacramento in 1903 with the PCL. We were one of the original charter teams, so we did have a gap, but a tremendous amount of baseball history here.
You've got to love what you're seeing right here on the berm with the kids showing up with the mom and dad on a night like tonight. Perfect.
Yeah, the weather here, we're spoiled, and this field too. It's a great place to bring out your family and have a great night of baseball.
Yeah, we've been really impressed by the way that, especially in the PCL, the way that every ballpark has really had some makeovers, and they've made the parks a lot more fan friendly. But man, we're sitting up here just smelling that food, and we're about to go crazy.
Yeah, they do a number of things very well here, and food is definitely one of them. You look at the menu, and I remember the first year how much it's expanded to where it is now, and lots of favorites on there.
How did you know where to go, what direction with food?
You just follow the smell in the ballpark, and you find the right spot.
That's not the direction. How did you know what to serve? Because every minor league park Doug and Lauren and I visited, you've had unique offerings, and I was reading the menu. They're fantastic.
They are. You know, part of what this area is famous for is we're America's farm to fork capital, and you see that not only in restaurants but on menus at places like this.
2 down now as Kevin Plawecki will stand in. We're talking. I'm sorry, I thought you were about to say something.
I was just thinking, because we had heard about the Johnny Cash burger. Is that right?
Yes.
And we heard that if we leave this ballpark without one, that we've committed some kind of local crime.
Yeah, that burger has gotten famous very quickly, and you definitely are doing yourself a disservice if you miss that one.
That is what? A big burger, cheddar cheese, bacon, onion rings. What am I leaving out?
It'll feed you for the week. So just, enjoy that. And then.
Did I hear there was a donut burger or a... Is that correct?
There has been a donut burger. There's been a chicken sandwich in between 2 glazed donuts. There's a lot of things that are tried out, and we'll see how they work, and they work pretty well.
We just heard from your mayor, Kevin Johnson, and it's easy to see why he's so popular here. And you know, he's not just about sports, but it sure does help having a mayor who played baseball and basketball in college and then pro basketball.
It really does. He understands not only the community aspect of it, but the economic impact that sports brings. So he's been such a huge champion. You may have heard we're building an arena downtown for the Sacramento Kings, and he is the reason that that's happened. So great to have somebody in that position who understands the benefit to the community.
Tell us a little bit about this. Sac loves sports. We keep hearing a lot of that around, and obviously,
let me get you to hold that thought. It's been a quick inning. You got to like that. Your River Cats take care of them 1-2-3. Mike Testa joining it with us, and we'll hear more about what's going on in Sacramento when we come back. No score at Raley Field on the CBS Sports Network. Nearly a packed house at Raley Field in Sacramento. No score between Las Vegas and the homestanding River Cats. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn. We're visiting with Mike Testa from the Sacramento Convention and Visitors Bureau. You were saying before the break.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about Sacramento love sports. It's like Sac loves sports, and it's obvious here tonight. And then with the pro basketball and all the stuff that you're trying to do and want to do, can you just let people know, if they're coming out here to visit, some of the things that they're going to enjoy about this wonderful place?
Yeah, just in the last 2 months, we hosted in May the Amgen Tour California cycling race throughout the state of California. We've got a great soccer team here, the Republic FC. Last weekend, we had USA Rugby versus Canada Rugby, which the United States won, I'm happy to report. This week, we have the USA Track and Field Outdoor Championships in Sacramento. So when you said Sac loves sports, we do. There are a ton of sporting events here, and they happen year-round. That's a great thing about being in California. The climate is very perfect to do those things, so we take advantage.
This ballpark right here has hosted several other events, not only just baseball, but football, soccer, and I'm just wondering how they keep this field so beautiful when you have all that going on.
We've got some very good groundskeepers here, because you're right, everything from soccer to football to baseball to concerts, a lot of activity out here, and then these guys definitely earn their money.
One of the things that has impressed us as well with the ballparks, and we talked about this earlier tonight, we've had several great shots of your skyline there, and it's just every one of them unique. And this ballpark, as I said, with the berm, the skyline in the background, you know, you just sit here and take it all in, don't you?
Yeah, it's a great setting, and they put this in a great part of town, and the view is obviously of our iconic Tower Bridge and our great downtown. So, like I said, the climate helps, but the view doesn't hurt either.
It also helps have a pretty good ball club, doesn't it?
Yeah, that makes it pretty good too.
And this young man here, all 6'8" of him, Nate Fryman, he's been a lot of fun to watch, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. Great player.
My question is, how did he get away from Coach K?
Out of Duke, yeah, 6'8", but played baseball and was the top scholar athlete his senior year down in Durham. And now he's just tearing up the Pacific Coast League. 14 home runs and a league-leading 68 runs batted in. Why do you think the fans took so quickly to the return of baseball here in Sacramento?
You know, I think you've got a great base here. You've obviously got the Oakland A's just down the road and the San Francisco Giants, and there's a population here that has supported those. So to have our own team in Sacramento, you know, whenever you start something new, people wondered, will this work? And I think from day one, it was very obvious that it works well in Sacramento. We love sports, and to be able to come out and support it on a weekday or a weekend is something that we've done very well.
Well, you got a great staff, too, that's working with their kids. And we talked earlier with them. They couldn't have been more gracious, as had all the people here at the ballpark have made us feel so welcome to be here.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the great things about this club. Not only are they great on the field from a performance standpoint, but they support this community. They have a number of groups that they've taken under their wing and really treated to some special things. They take care of the fans, and I think the fans pay them back by attending.
Well, I'm sorry, Dick, that's one of the great things about minor league baseball. You get up close and personal with these guys, and they have an opportunity to follow them for their careers as they move on into the big leagues. I think it's wonderful.
And a great pitch by Syndergaard, ran it up and in. On Nate Fryman, back-to-back strikeouts now by the big right-hander. And there's one out. Jake Elmore stands in, second baseman for the River Cats, as we talk with Mike Testa from the Sacramento Convention and Visitors Bureau. What kind of business do you do with the tourists? How many folks show up and partake of your fine city? Any idea?
Yeah, we get about 15 million tourists that come through this region every year. They come for a variety of things from business to leisure. We are the start of the California Gold Rush, so there's a lot of history here. And as I mentioned before, we're America's farm to fork capital. So we've got a lot of food production that happens here, 1.5 million acres of active farmland. People who are watching this game across the country, probably the produce they're eating in their homes comes from this region. So we're very proud of that, and it's something that we celebrate here, not only from a restaurant standpoint, but farmers markets and all those types of things.
So does that mean what you sell here at the ballpark, that's all local?
The majority of it is, actually. Yeah, that's one of the great things about whether it's a restaurant or a ball team. You go into the food system here, and most of the product is coming from this local market, sometimes within 20 miles.
Wow.
Boy, impressive when we look at this ball club and look at this crowd. We heard it was going to be a sellout tonight.
Thirsty Thursday helps.
It does help, and Thursday helps in general. We're one day away from Friday, so that doesn't hurt.
Good beginning of the weekend, no question. Also, we were talking earlier in the show about the fact that we are here in Northern California, basically, but you know, you don't have the biting wind and the cold that you might have in San Francisco or elsewhere.
Yeah, we're very spoiled in Sacramento. We've got a great climate, and we talk about the food. The reason we can do that is because we've got a year-round growing period. The climate is very nice. Those of us who visit different parts of the country, especially this time of year, realize without humidity and some of those other things, we got a lot of nice things going here.
Syndergaard fields his position, 2 down. Now, I got to say, in all candor, we are on the other side of the river, so we're in West Sacramento.
Right.
Do the folks on this side of the river, do they want to make sure that you make that distinction, or is it all one big happy Sacramento?
You know, I think we're all one big happy family. When I say we're the farm to fork capital, that means everybody.
That's right.
And this is Sacramento and West Sacramento's baseball team. This is the region's club.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that at our golf tournament last week, we had a gentleman there who went to school here in Sacramento who just happens to be the golf pro at Pebble Beach, Mr. Chuck Dunbar.
Oh, sure.
And but he was very proud. We told him we were coming out here to do a ball game. He said, "You're going to love it, love it, love it."
Yeah, it's interesting as you know, we're the capital city of California, and a lot of people have transplanted here, and we've got a lot of people born and raised, but there's a tremendous amount of pride in this area. It's great for the city.
I have read so much about the Tower Bridge, too. We just have a little bit of time left, but how long has that been there? And you guys must be really proud of it.
Early 1900s. It's definitely a landmark for this region, and you know, it's a drawbridge, goes up a few times a day, and it's something that's been here for a a long time.
Mike, thank you so much for your hospitality. Best of luck to you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Mike.
Mike Testa from the Sacramento Convention and Visitors Bureau. Another 1-2-3 inning. We are scoreless in Sacramento. Back with more of the minor league game of the week on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, California, Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner here at Rayleigh Field, where it's been a pitcher's duel so far, which is kind of what we expected. 1 base hit so far. And outstanding arms right now from that young man. Lindblom for Sacramento. Syndergaard for Las Vegas.
We're seeing a couple of really good pitchers right now. These guys have tremendous control early in the ball game and throwing all of their pitches over for strikes. One in the dirt, but I mean throwing hard too. You know, as we said earlier, we were asking Wally Backman one of the questions I had. Wally, do these guys really throw 95? And he said, Doug, look at the size of some of these kids that are out there right now. So they're so much bigger and stronger than we were.
Let's go downstairs to Lauren Gardner with a special guest. Lauren.
Well, you guys had some very special guests up in the booth, and I have a very special guest here on the concourse, Lindsay Paveo, who is actually the runner-up in season 2 of The Voice. Lindsay, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Are you a big baseball fan?
Yeah, I've always liked the sport, yeah.
You've been a big fan. I know you sang the national anthem. You have sang on very, very big stages before. How did this compare?
Oh, this was really, really amazing because everyone's so encouraging and it's kind of my home, so it was really nice.
Did you have family and friends come and watch?
I did have some friends come out.
So what is it about performing at a sports venue live compared to performing at a concert or something on live TV like The Voice?
Oh, wow. Well, the anthem in specific is kind of a sacred song, so it was actually kind of scarier than being on some other kind of TV show because that's kind of pop music, it's contemporary. This I hold very high regard for.
And who was your favorite judge? I'm particular to Blake Shelton, but you can tell me.
They were all really nice. I liked Blake and Christina, of course. Yeah, them two were probably the ones that I spoke to the most.
And now what are you up to? Is there anywhere we can find some of your music?
Yeah, I'm coming out with an album later this summer, and you can follow me on Bandcamp and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. It's all just my name. So if you search my name, Lindsay Paveo, then you can find out. And I have a lot of free music online that people can download.
I'm going to have to check that out. You sounded fantastic. I know our viewers weren't able to hear you during the anthem, but I think you put a really nice twist on things, and we really enjoyed watching you on The Voice. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, ladies. And you saw 2 long fly balls by the 51s. And now Corey Vaughn, the number 9 hitter, played his college baseball at San Diego State, but was born in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I need to find out if he's a Packers fan. Corey, of course, the son of a longtime major leaguer. His father, Greg, spent 15 years in the bigs from '89 to '03. 355 major league home runs.
Yeah, he had some juice.
41 homers one year, 45 and 50 from 96 to 99. Corey, though, is more of a line drive hitter with speed.
We got a lot of really good hitters up and down this lineup.
Nice pick behind the plate by Ortiz. They play him to absolutely pull to the left side of the infield. Andy Perino, the shortstop, drawn well over. There's a good look at something of a shift, and up the middle almost Jake Elmore at second base. 1-2 pitch. Downstairs to Lauren again. Lauren.
Well, something very unique about Corey Vaughn. Every time he goes to slide, he has to do it on his right side, and that's for a very good purpose. He has an insulin pump that lies in his back left pocket that's connected to a catheter that he has to wear every single game. Corey was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes at the age of 11, and he's lived with it very well to this point. He's become a very popular athlete, and as you know, his father played in the bigs and really helped him cope with it. And he's also become a spokesperson for the National Diabetes Association. You can follow him on Twitter at sugarfreecv, and it's a question and answer guide about all diabetes.
Thanks, Lauren. And you're right. It is a real problem in America. But Corey Vaughn managing type 1 diabetes and playing professional baseball. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across. We'll go to the bottom of the third, scoreless in Sacramento. Join us next Thursday, July 3rd. We'll head to South Carolina where the Winston-Salem Dash, the White Sox affiliate, travel to Myrtle Beach to take on the Pelicans from the Rangers system. It's the minor league baseball game of the week, 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner. Glad to have you along here from Sacramento, California. Good look at the skyline. Sun is still shining a little bit here on the West Coast. It's been an outstanding day all around and a great night for baseball.
We taking our golf clubs to Myrtle Beach?
That's a distinct possibility. I understand they have 1 or 2 golf courses down there. Is that true?
You know, there's, I think they just opened their 3rd or 4th. So they're, what a great place. And we got a few contacts we might be able to get on.
Well, you know,
you're not much of a golfer, though.
I am a terrible, horrible golfer.
Well, that has nothing to do with it. You like it to play,
Plant
though.
me in the ground, and my branches would spread the shade over bad golfers, and that's how bad I am.
Can I shamelessly plug our golf tournament last week?
Absolutely. In Lexington, Kentucky, one of the most successful golf tournaments of its kind in America.
Raised $600 at this point, $680,000 with my co-host Johnny Bench and Matthew Mitchell. Just a wonderful event to benefit children's charities across the state of Kentucky. And then we head down to Camp Lejeune to do one for Hope for the Warriors in September. So a lot of good things going on.
A lot of great charity golf tournaments out there across the country as Jose Martinez steps in. Out of Venezuela, originally signed by the Cardinals, non-drafted free agent 9 years ago.
Greg Sparks, the hitting coach for Sacramento, whose father, Joe Sparks, was a manager back when I was playing in AAA ball and then went on to do some big league coaching, told me, he said, let me describe our team. He says, we're not going to dazzle you, but it's sort of like stepping on an anthill. Before you know it, you're hurting. And I thought that was pretty good. He said, we just have a bunch of good, solid ball players that know how to play the game.
You talk about a guy who's been around, Greg Sparks. Worked with the Padres, the A's, Mets, Pirates, Red Sox, Indians, Tigers, Braves, Rockies.
And he's done a little bit of everything, even gone so far as to hire his own dad. He said that was weird.
And the off-speed works properly on the inside edge for Syndergaard. Syndergaard with his third strikeout.
Wow, big breaking ball right there. When you're throwing 95 plus and you can get that one over, and that's of course what Wally Backman's been looking for. And pitching coach Frank Viola. We're glad to see him doing well and healthy again. Well, you're talking about 2 big names in baseball right there. World Series MVP, and there's Frankie. Good look at him. You talk to him, you don't have to ask where he's from. That's a New Yorker all the way, baby.
Colin Walsh, one of 2 switch hitters in the lineup for Sacramento tonight. Designated hitter this evening from La Jolla, California. Played his college ball at Stanford. Another one originally drafted by the Cardinals, 13th round back in 2010. Off the fists, muscles it into left field. First base hit surrendered by Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah, threw a pretty good pitch too, but he's able to stay inside. A jam shot, didn't look like it broke his bat, served it out over the shortstop's head. Just fastball up. One of the few that he's got up that high, and most of his fastball's been down in the zone.
So for the first time tonight, a runner on base for the home team. Ryan Ortiz will try to move him along. Syndergaard had been perfect up until that point with the 3 strikeouts.
Well, they weren't wrong when they talked about him having a good arm. He has been consistently 95 and 96. We'd heard 98, but so far we haven't seen that.
Ortiz with a base hit, a run scored last time out at New Orleans. That base hits in all 3 games in that series down in Louisiana. And of course the River Cats, who are just used to this atmosphere. Not talking about the fans either. I'm talking about the lack of humidity. They tell us before the game they were down there in New Orleans and really had a hard time adjusting to the climate.
You know, one of the questions I had for Wally Backman earlier is playing in that heat in Las Vegas. He said, we just shorten everything up.
Gapper drops in for the base hit. Back-to-back knocks for the River Cats. And they threaten now with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
By shortening it up, he meant that they don't take as much batting practice. Some days they take a day off, cut back on their ground balls. You see here's a good pitch right down the middle of the plate. Ortiz does a good job of staying on the ball. Not hit real hard, hit perfectly out in the left center.
Nick Buss now for the 2nd time tonight. Fly ball to center his 1st time. 3 for 15 in that series down in New Orleans.
There's that off-speed pitch, first pitch. Both hits have been on fastballs. And he's been very good at throwing the fastball over for a strike, but mixing in that off-speed pitch is certainly going to make him a lot tougher.
Buss drafted by the Dodgers out of Southern Cal, but a native of Southfield, Michigan. He goes the other way with it. On the run is Vaughn. Runners retreat. 2 out.
You can see he likes that fastball a lot. And he's had pretty good control with his off-speed pitch so far tonight. He's just not throwing it. Maybe doesn't have the confidence to throw it. But I love what they're doing. I like both of these managers. They're letting their kids play and learn the game. They're not just making them robots and telling them what pitches to throw. You have to, at some point in time, figure it out for yourself.
Andy Perino with a fly ball his last time up. Part of a trade that brought him to the Oakland organization back in fall of 2012. As we mentioned, he has been up with a big club.
Good look at Wally Backman. A lot of talk that he may be a big league manager in the near future somewhere. Certainly after 12 years of managing, he's had a great record in the minor leagues.
Got a good look at his cap too. We're going to tell you all about the nickname for Las Vegas here.
I want one of those.
How about that?
Las Vegas 51.
As in Area 51. So they're going to play off the reputation that area has for being just a little mysterious.
Isn't that a great hat?
That is wonderful. There's so many of them in the minor leagues.
But it's a good little ball player right there too. You talking about a gamer. Wow. When he came, it was time for Dougie Boyd to leave New York.
There was only room for one of you.
Well, they took the right one, I'll tell you that, because he was a really good player. Then they end up winning the World Series in '86. So I'm real happy for him. And I see him every year at the Mets fantasy camp, and we have a great time.
Well, it's big of you to admit you were the one holding the Mets back from that World Series. Now, did you go from there to Montreal?
I went from there to Montreal.
Okay.
That's correct.
You just went a little further north.
Well, the smallmouth bass fishing was a little bit better up there.
Is that how they sold it to you?
They didn't really sell it back then. It just kind of, this is what you're going to do.
Hitter's pitch coming up to Perino with 2 on and 2 out. River Cats threatening in the 3rd. Not a bad pitch, Coach.
I'm telling you, but good location with some good giddy up on it. If he were in any way had confidence in an off-speed pitch right now, see the catcher sitting up, pitch down and away on the outside corner, just a great pitch.
Even if you want it, you can't get that. This will be interesting. 3-2. Does he come back with a heat?
I think he does, because that seems to be what he has the most confidence in. Although
I think so.
He shook off a couple of things. Yeah, I think he was going to throw. I think Plawecki wanted him to throw a breaking ball or something off speed, but he shook him off and came back to the fastball.
Well, as you said, that's all part of the process, and now you see the mound visit by Plawecki. And again, he's been up with this team briefly now. They're just trying to get to know each other. Plawecki perhaps saying, look, have some confidence in that breaking ball. You've hit it a couple times, and now Frank Viola may come out to have the same conversation. But bases loaded, 2 out.
Frankie had a big old brace on that knee and then went in, had a little heart issue. They took care of him. Boy, you talk about a battler and a good left-handed pitcher.
He was.
Those years he had with the Twins and, of course, the Mets and other teams. He could throw. Big power pitcher. So I'm sure he likes, and he can relate a lot to this young man that's on the mound right now.
And as you might expect from a New Yorker, a power pitcher with attitude back in the day. Las Vegas 47-32, Sacramento 45-34.
Good. I tell you, he and I used to hook up every year at Hilton Head in a golf tournament, charitable golf tournament that they no longer have. But it was always good to see him. He got to see, as a matter of fact, one of my hole-in-one.
One of your hole-in-one?
Well, I've only had 2, but he saw one.
That's all?
Yep.
Shane Peterson with a big opportunity. Bases juiced. Struck out to end the first inning. Last hole-in-one I had, the hole had a windmill on it.
They count.
They do. Oh, I danced, trust me. And it was not pretty. First big challenge for Noah Syndergaard. River Cats with 1 out, back-to-back singles after a fly ball, a walk to Perino, and now here comes pitch number 50 on the night. Just missed that outside edge.
Well, we heard Lauren say earlier that probably he could go 100 pitches, 75 2 times ago, last time out 90, and 100 tonight. They'll be keeping a close eye on him, though. I mean, he seems to be throwing the ball awfully well. Just his command has not been very good. That's nasty right there.
He's been massaging that outside edge, and he finally gets the strike call. Local fans respectfully disagree.
Well, usually you can tell if a catcher moves that glove very much, either in or up. That time he just left it there, so I have to think that was a pretty good pitch.
The 2-2 to Peterson. Same spot, just a little outside, perhaps trying to get him to chase.
And you know, both times he's thrown that good fastball on the outside part of the plate for a strike. He's done it with 2 and 1, the last 2 hitters. He's come back and almost looks like he's trying to overthrow.
Runners will be on the move. 3-2 pitch, 2 out. Vaughn can't make the grab. That's going to clear the bases, and a 3-0 lead for the River Cats.
We'll see how they judge it or what they give him, but Vaughn got there. It's going to be a tough play. But the ball is hit hard down the line. All the runners are going. And just another really quality at bat. You see the runners take off, so they're going to score. He gets to it, the ball just off his glove a little bit.
Great effort by Vaughn. It scored a double. And 3 runs batted in for Shane Peterson. And a big lead for the River Cats. Now Nate Fryman will try to keep things going. He struck out his last time, leading off the 2nd inning. You know, interesting, Syndergaard came back with that fastball away, Doug, but it was up.
The pitches down, they haven't been hitting, but this is almost like an instant replay of the game, maybe the last game he pitched, when in 1 inning we were told he threw 25 pitches, of which only 2 of them were off speed. So he really is in love with the fastball, and he's not giving them anything else to look at.
You got to give Perino a lot of credit. He scored from first, and granted he was moving on the pitch, but Corey Vaughn did a great job of corralling the baseball, coming up with it quickly, made a strong throw back to the infield, but Perino made the mad dash from first base, and it's a 3-0 game. Runner at second. Slider away.
So he's thrown 2 breaking balls to Fryman already. And maybe he just doesn't like to throw them too much to lefties, or he's not very comfortable throwing them very much to lefties.
Mentioned Fryman out of Duke University, born in Washington, D.C., 6'8", 250.
Yeah, we saw him around the batting cage. This is a hoss.
We were asking about how the ball carries in this ballpark, and he says not real well. And he was flying out BP. He said this is unusual. It was a little bit warmer. And he began to describe to Lauren and me the wind patterns that affect the ball. And I mean, he did it really impressively. A guy with a degree in political science, he sounded like he knows his meteorology.
And Lauren, with her pilot's license, I'm sure she was sitting there taking it all in.
Fryman stays alive. Drafted by the Padres in the 8th round. Tore up the California League, the Northwest League, the Texas League. Astros took him in the Rule 5 draft, added him to their 40-man roster. And Oakland claimed him off waivers in March of 13. Actually made it up to the bigs in April of 13. Interesting, we've seen a lot of ball players in our travels, primarily through AAA baseball, who have had just a little bit of the taste of the big leagues. And I've got to think that makes it even tougher on them to want to get back. They know what it's all about. They've had firsthand experience.
Once you get a taste of it, that's the only thing you want to eat the rest of your life.
Off speed, that's out of play. And the ball bouncing off the facade upstairs into the hands of a lucky fan.
Almost over my buddy Leon Lee. Tried to. I don't think he was making the play though.
Well, what an interesting guy, part of the radio crew for the River Cats.
How about it? I haven't seen him for I don't know how many years, and he brings up a game we played in 1974.
The minor leagues. That's a laser in the left, and that's going to score a run. Another double for the River Cats and a 4-0 lead.
That'll probably go as a single that's going on, Dick. But the thing about it is you don't hit the cutoff man.
Exactly.
And if you hit the cutoff man, then you got a really good shot of getting Fryman as he's going into second. And, you know, as we continue to say, at this level, guys are still working on knowing the game. And there's a case right there where you come up and you try to make a good throw to your third baseman. That one was a little high, and Fryman does a great job of just continuing running.
4 base hits in this inning, plus a walk for Sacramento. And you're right, obviously not a double. But back-to-back base hits for the second time this inning. Jake Elmore sends it down the right field line. Souvenir. Bounce back to the pitcher his last time up. Lucky, lucky young man. But that's why you bring your mitt to the ballpark.
I tell you what, isn't that great when you go get a foul ball? I can remember my mom bringing me some home from even my dad's games, and I loved it. First thing we do is take it in the street and see how much we could beat it up.
0-2 pitch to Elmore. Nice stop by Plawecki. I'm always fascinated by the people who nowhere to set up during batting practice and come out of here with bags of baseballs. Make a science out of it. Bullpen comes alive for Las Vegas. 1-2 pitch. Andrew Brown on the run, but drifting over Wilmer Flores, and he'll make the grab for out number 3. But major damage done by Sacramento, thanks in large part to this young man, Shane Peterson, the opposite field double. It's 4-0 Sacramento after 3. Back in Sacramento, where the home team has a 4-0 lead on Las Vegas. Glad to have you along in our minor league baseball game of the week. We're joined now by Branch Rickey, who is the president of the Pacific Coast League. Thank you so much for joining us. And can we say congratulations on what a terrific league you have going here?
Well, you're here on a very special night in Sacramento. You couldn't have a better panorama for a broadcast than what's going on with the sun setting on downtown behind the outfield fence. But yes, we're very proud of this franchise and a lot of other PCL franchises.
And you know, the ones we visited, they all have just tremendous facilities, great ballparks that have been upgraded and renovated. And I know that's been very important to you. Tell us a little bit about that.
That has been, it's been a push both at the AAA level in the PCL and the International League, but also on down through the lower classifications. And it is what has really transformed minor league baseball in the last 15 or 18 years probably, are all these new facilities that are architecturally of a very different character than what old-time minor league baseball
Amen.
was. You can speak to that very, very much.
That's all I hear from him everywhere. Boy, it wasn't like this when I played in the minors.
You know, for me, though, when you hear the name of Branch Rickey, and I mean, it goes back years and years.
Well, our families overlap a little
That's
bit.
exactly right. And, you know, so many things that you have had a hand in, your family's had a hand in shaping the game of baseball to where it is today. I mean, when you talk about the farm systems and the year back with Jackie Robinson and then the new facilities, all of that, I mean, that's amazing what your family's accomplished and your love of the game.
Well, my love of the game really comes from my involvement here more than it does my history. But what a wonderful heritage I have, and I didn't do anything to deserve that. I'm trying not to.
You don't have to be humble with us. Let's go ahead.
No, you've worked so hard.
I'm trying not to discredit my father and grandfather all in one generation.
You have worked so hard, and it's been fascinating to us. And we both come from Lexington, Kentucky, where we do have a minor league ball club. We cover college ball as well, but it's just been exactly. But it's been fascinating in our travels to see how America in different size markets, good line shot into left field by Matt Reynolds for the base hit. America has just embraced minor league baseball. What has led to this surge in popularity, in your opinion?
If I were to say any one thing, it would be affordability. And if I were to combine that with a second factor, it is what we just talked about prior to that, the new facility. So affordability and beautiful recreation like this, be able to come out here at an affordable price for families.
We see a lot of kids out here. That's got to do your heart good.
You know, yes. That's one of the things I talk about time and time again.
Runner goes. Good jump by Reynolds, but an even better throw by Ortiz.
There's so many sports venues where you just don't see the youth coming out in the numbers that we have in minor league baseball. And it's no accident that minor league baseball drew over 41 million last year.
Wow.
And that surpasses the NFL, the NBA, the NHL. I have to get that in.
You say with a big smile on your face.
I do.
Well, you know, I was an American Association guy, so coming up. My first time out here, I am so impressed with all the facilities, with the towns that are here, with every venue, the way we're treated. I mean, you just got to be so proud. I mean, it's like a walking billboard for every community when we come to say, you need to come try these. Don't go see the big league ballparks. Come see the minor league ballparks.
Look at how close the fans are to the field.
Absolutely.
And how much a part of the game they feel because of it. You asked me what did I attribute the wonderful turnaround, and I gave you 2 reasons, but I failed to say the third, and that is the way our teams are being run now. And you just referred to it.
Yep.
The professionalism in the operation of our ballparks. We're totally fan-oriented.
That was something that you really wanted to get started, wasn't it? Because I thought, and here's what I thought we got away from that in our game. And I say our game because we've both been in it for a long time. I thought we were not as fan-friendly at the ballpark as we could be.
I would like to take credit for that. It's not true. This is embedded in our industry. Everybody that works in our industry, whether it's on AAA, AA, we have picked up that dedication to that principle.
Nice pickup by Elmer.
Yes, sir.
We're visiting with Branch Rickey. We'll be back with a few more questions with the president of the PCL. 4-0 Sacramento on the minor league baseball game of the week here on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn visiting with Branch Rickey, the president of the PCL. But first, let's go downstairs to Lauren Gardner. Lauren?
Well, Dick, I'm in the 51's dugout with pitching coach Frank Viola. Coach, we spoke with the skipper a little bit earlier today about Noah Syndergaard and his progress. How would you evaluate his outing so far?
Well, he's learning in progress. He's a learn in progress. His stuff is incredible. It plays anywhere. It plays in the big leagues. It's just learning what he's got, when to use it, and how to use it. And against a good hitting team like this, he got himself in trouble. Got the 3-4 hole hitters up and left a couple of pitches out over the plate. And he got hurt by it. But that all comes with the experience. He hasn't pitched that many years. He hasn't thrown that many innings. So every time out here, he learns. And as long as he's learning, he's going to get better down the road.
You yourself know a little something about this industry, a Cy Young Award winner and a World Series MVP. What's the biggest piece of advice you could impart on some of these kids?
Well, I think the biggest thing is, especially with the young kids, is stay positive. You're going to get beat. You're going to get beat with your good stuff. You're going to get beat when you don't have your good stuff, but you have to stay positive. You can control what you can control. And that's going out there and give it the best effort you can and let the chips fall where they may.
Thank you very much. I think that motivated me. I'm ready to go.
Get loose, Lauren. Loosen up that right arm. We're talking with Branch Rickey, the president of the PCL. You've got to love that kind of coaching expertise at this level. I mean, a guy can impart that kind of knowledge.
Well, when you say a Cy Young winner and
not bad,
a World Series veteran, it's just marvelous. It's marvelous.
All right, all the hats you've worn in baseball. I mean, you've done a lot of things in baseball. Your favorite thing that you would say, this is when I had the most fun?
Might be right here tonight.
Man, this guy needs to run for office.
How could you feel any more fun in your heart than standing right here looking out this baseball field?
We say the same thing. Dick will send out a picture. He say, here we are at the office again. And we let people know that we enjoy being here. We still love baseball. And boy, this is magnificent tonight.
One of the things that we've had a lot of fun doing is describing and sampling a lot of the food at the various ballparks. And everybody takes such great pride in what they serve. If it's not the Rendezvous Nachos in Memphis, it's the lobster rolls in Pawtucket. Yep. It's, just unbelievable.
Is that wrong of us?
To dwell on the food or to go everywhere sampling it?
Well, sampling, I think, is probably closer.
But that's
you
part
can
of the
tell
fun.
I have sampled quite a few.
That's part of the fun, though, of minor league baseball, isn't it?
I actually think that minor league baseball has been a leader in that regard and brought that spirit to Major League Baseball. I think Major League Baseball came across this, said, wow, this is just terrific. Let's start doing more of it.
I think one of the other things that's impressed me, because when we started making plans to do this package of games, and Doug and I have known each other forever, and he was telling me, because Doug has also coached and managed in the minors, he said, now, a lot of your prospects are at AA ball, not so many in AAA anymore, but that's not the case. We've been pleasantly surprised that
a lot of big league.
All the movement.
Yeah, all the movement and the prospects on this level.
We had 109 players last year debut in the major leagues out of the PCL, just the PCL.
Wow.
So that's a pretty big number. I think when fans see that some AA players or whatever players jump AAA, they're so startled. It stands out in their minds.
Yeah.
But the volume of players that are going to the big leagues out of AAA is dazzling. I don't know. It may even be greater this year. That statistic was from 2013.
Well, we've already heard, for instance, Las Vegas, from their opening day roster, 12 players are missing.
You probably heard that from the manager of the Las Vegas Ball Club.
That is true.
Well, Wally is very conscious which of his relief pitchers are still up there.
Matter of fact, he did mention that to us. But boy, just, it's been like old home week every time we come to a ballpark, seeing guys that I played against and with. And so we take another beautiful look at that ballpark. Wow.
Jose Martinez just missing, dropping one down the right field line.
Well, let me just say on behalf of the Pacific Coast League, it's terrific having both of you guys.
Thank you.
Your enthusiasm and having CBS Sports in our ballparks and carrying this and letting a lot of fans across the United States know what's going on in minor league baseball.
Well, we'd like them to get out and experience it as we have, and I still remember the very first minor league game my father ever took me to, and it's just a lot of fun. As I mentioned, we have one back home, but everywhere you go, it's unique, and yet it's the same in that people work hard to make sure the fans have a good time.
Well, as we rolled in here tonight, I run into Leon Lee. Leon, the first thing he says, remember that game in the finals of the American Association Championship when we beat you all in 15 innings? 1974. So the memories that you have from nights like tonight will be etched in the minds of young people and old people alike for the rest of their lives.
So true. So true.
You were talking earlier about the ballparks and the work that goes into them, and we have seen so many like this one. Now, they're all unique, of course, to their respective areas, but more and more ballparks taking advantage of the venue, of the vista, of the view of downtown and whatever the area has to offer, which I think is really special.
Actually, the site for Raley Field was chosen specifically because of the fact that the placement, northeast placement, would give you the panorama of downtown.
There it is.
And the first place that I really came across that was in Indianapolis. I think you're doing a broadcast there.
And that's where Mr. Flynn played minor league ball.
Played at Old Bush Stadium.
Well,
they now have a new
back
one
in the
now.
new
Victory Field, the new stadium there. Absolutely.
That one's hammered up the middle. So 2 runners on now with 1 out for Sacramento.
Yeah, the ballparks that we've seen so far and the renovations that they've made and are making, and yeah, it's nothing like Dick was saying. How does this compare to when you got a chance to play? And I said, well, quite frankly, it doesn't.
The word contrasts is better than compares.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And then you go down in the locker rooms and you say,
Oh, I don't even want to do that.
Why couldn't we have had these locker rooms?
I don't even want to go down there, because here's what I want. I want these young kids to realize how good they have it and how many people are fighting for them.
58-footer. Ortiz can't corral it, or rather Plawecki. Ortiz at the plate, but now he has the opportunity to drive in 2 with runners at second and third.
On the field, one of the big differences from my time on the player development, on the major league side, on the player development side, it's the amount of instruction that is now being accomplished at the minor league level at various levels. But Major League Baseball has really gotten on to providing outstanding instructors in the minor leagues.
Infield all the way in for Las Vegas, down 4-0. Visiting with Branch Rickey, the president of the PCL. You know, we were talking a lot too through our travels about the fact that teams are in the bigs are being more judicious with those free agent signings, and they're working now even more with the minor league change, which can only help minor league baseball.
You know, Dick, you go to a fantasy camp like I do every year with either the Mets or the Reds. I do both of those. And there might be 20 to 30 young players there that are doing workouts and weight work and getting extra instruction, as you were talking about. And you think in the old days they said either figure it out or go home. You know, Ray Ripplemeyer, who you know, was great pitching coach for years.
Yep.
I asked him to give me his best piece of advice on coaching. He said, Doug, it's real simple. Some of them get it, some of them don't.
Las Vegas trying to snuff out the opportunity for Sacramento. But Ortiz with a big chance here. The infield all the way in, leading 4-0. Runners at second and third. That's a pitch he needed.
You know, we were talking in this, we have 4 divisions in the PCL, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And how does that work out? Does that seem to work out pretty well?
I think it has been absolutely perfect structure for the PCL. We divide then into 2 conferences.
Right.
And the preponderance of the play is within the conference, within that 18. But still, we play 4 teams from the other division at home, cross-conference line, and we play 4 teams in the other division away. So the players in this league get to see all 16 teams.
Oh, that's good.
They become familiar with the personnel who is throughout AAA and the Pacific Coast League. And it breaks up some of the feeling that players have in smaller leagues.
Yeah.
We see these guys too much. Couldn't we see more? So we have a lot of great feedback, but of course we're the largest geographical league.
Right.
By far. And we span 3 time zones. So there's an awful lot of pressure on us to accomplish all of our travel by commercial air transportation.
How many games a year you get to see?
Well, I tried, my home now is in Round Rock, Texas. And so if we have 2 4-game series there, I try to see 1 game of each of those 4. And then I visit all the 16. So I don't know.
You look like you're not having a bit of fun.
Having a lot of fun.
Runner's tag. That'll chase one home. Not the best of throws, but nice job backing it up by Noah Syndergaard in a 5-0 lead now for Sacramento. One of the other things, Mr. Rickey, that we have commented on is the fact that the nicknames for so many of your teams are just fantastic, and so many of them are the perfect fit, such as the 51s for Vegas, and of course the Sacramento River right there, the River Cats.
Well, we've got a new one this year. We moved the team to El Paso, Texas.
Oh, that's one of the best.
And I think there was a lot of feeling locally and external to El Paso when we came up with, or the ownership of the club came up with, the Chihuahuas.
Yeah, so great.
Thinking it would just not work. But they have had so many sellouts. The fans have really taken to it.
Thank you so much for visiting with us.
Thanks for having me on, guys.
Appreciate it.
Great to see you again, buddy.
Good luck.
Good
luck on the rest of your games in the Pacific Coast League.
Thank you very much.
Branch Rickey, president of the PCL. Back with more on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, where the River Cats lead Las Vegas 5-0. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn. Let's go back downstairs to Lauren Gardner. Lauren.
And Dick, I made my way upstairs to the party deck, and as we've made this tour to all these different ballparks, we all know what my favorite part of the broadcast is. And that's when we get to check out some of the food. I'm alongside Mark Stone with Ovations. We know that burgers are an absolute staple in Sacramento. What am I looking at right here? This looks delicious.
Yeah, Lauren, that's our Ovations famous double donut bacon cheeseburger. It's absolutely amazing.
Okay, so what's going on here? We have a donut as the bun and then a bacon cheeseburger?
Actually, 2 full donuts, one on the top and
I'm taking a bite.
bottom, and then the hamburger, the cheese, the bacon. It's really good. I mean, it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's great tasting.
That is delicious. I could eat that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
There you go.
I love that. Guys, I'll have to bring this over to you. Okay, we're with Chris Yarosh, who owns Broderick, right? The restaurant that's a staple here in Sacramento. We have another burger, the Johnny Cash burger. I don't want to touch it. It's a work of art.
Thank you. This is the Johnny Cash. We call it the Johnny Cash because it's the Ring of Fire. It's house pickled peppers, onion strings, applewood smoked bacon, 9 ranch beef, house barbecue sauce. It's just crazy.
Oh, do I need to take it out for a drink before I take a bite here? What's going on? This looks delicious. Wow. Okay, we have some onion strings. All right. And guys, we'll go over to you. It sounds like we have a home run down on the field. Well, I'm going to eat. Sounds good.
Andrew Brown indeed goes deep and finally puts up a run for Las Vegas, but I can understand why Lauren has her mind on other things. Unbelievable selections right now. And of course, minor league baseball parks with that wide variety of unique and great food items. What else you got?
It was delicious. You know, I took a bite of this thing. I got some of the bun. He made fun of me. I didn't get any of the actual
All right,
burger,
get in
so
there.
I'm going
Get in
for
there.
it.
All right.
Do not try this at home without a bib. It's so good, guys. We're going to bring this one over to you too as well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Don't try it at home. Try it at Raley Field in Sacramento.
We talked about Andrew Brown earlier in the ball game.
Yes,
Got
sir.
a chance to see some of that power. That ball was way out over the 380-foot mark.
Now Alan Dykstra stands in. Which food do you think is the best? Your chance to choose in MILB's Food Fight Contest through July 10th. Go to MILB.com/Food Fight. Cast your vote to decide minor league baseball's best ballpark eats. And in case you're wondering, Lauren's not allowed to vote.
But she is allowed to share.
Oh, absolutely. Which she has done. Let's give her credit. You know what, though? Earlier today we were talking about the menu items. And both of those items she mentioned, she said, I want to try them.
Yes, she did. I like that first one. Was that donuts and burgers? And
Hard to go wrong. Anything with
wrong.
donuts, yeah. I got to think at the Albuquerque Isotopes ballpark with all the statues of the Simpsons, there's got to be something offered with donuts on it.
You know, the last inning we were watching, and of course we had a great chance to talk to one of the real big names, if not the biggest name in all of baseball.
Sound like Dykstra broke his bat there. Go ahead.
And we saw a play, the ball hit the right field. We saw the cutoff, or the right fielder come up and just airmail one. And you know, those are, as a manager, that's the thing that you really try to work on and you try to instill in your players' heads. Regardless if you're playing good or bad, at least try to play sound fundamentally. And well, he just airmailed it. A good strong arm, but it allowed runners to move up.
Think he just rushed it?
Nah, it's hard to say. I don't think he was going to have a play at the plate, so I think his play would have been probably to come on into second base.
Yeah. Kevin Plawecki popped out to the catcher his last time up.
But that's why you're here. You just keep learning and learning, and one day it clicks, and the next thing you know, you're a star in the big leagues. But an amazing number of guys that have gone up just from this league alone last year, well over 100 players, which shows you there's quite a bit of talent going on.
They'll jump from AA, but they still come from AAA as well. Not just rehab and guys hanging on. Plawecki, one of the bright young stars for the Mets, ranked 17th among the Mets prospects entering this year. Just up from AA out of Purdue, native of Carmel, Indiana. Elmore perfectly placed. 2 out. In fact, Plawecki was one of the 3 finalists his last year in college for the Johnny Bench Award, your good friend.
Yeah, and I believe that's going on, taking place this week. He's had an opportunity to have, well, 100 and something people that have been, oh my goodness.
She's delivering on her promise. Lauren has brought the food upstairs. Wow. That's all we can say is wow.
We're not allowed to eat these on the air, though, are we?
It looks like you're breaking the rules. Josh Satin steps up. You go right ahead and have fun.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Satin with a fly ball to center his last time up. Ripped, but right at Perino.
Smooth.
But Las Vegas finally scratches the big fly by Andrew Brown as he sent it over the left center field wall to lead off the 5th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. Sacramento leads at 5-1 here, the minor league baseball game of the week here on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, California, where the River Cats lead Las Vegas 5-1. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner joining us in the booth now, and it's dinner time, isn't it?
It's delicious.
I know their mouth is full. They're having a hard time.
I'm sharing the love, you guys. You're lucky.
This is huge. The Johnny Cash burger. It's even bigger than the picture makes it seem.
Oh, man.
The donut burger, that's halfway gone.
Okay, you know.
You guys demolished that during the commercial break.
I want to be very professional about this, but.
There's a reason I went on a run today. I knew this was coming.
I'm telling you.
You got to try this Johnny Cash burger. I would not be surprised at this one. No, I did.
I want one of those onion rings. All right. Syndergaard, Noah is gone for the night. Noah Syndergaard's day is done.
Looks like Zach Thornton in the ball game. Zach comes in, a big 6'5" or 6'4" right-hander.
Out of Oak Park, California. And finished up last year actually with Indianapolis before coming over to Las Vegas. A little bit of action right away. And there's one out.
Boy, nice play right there.
Well, you know, Syndergaard had the rough inning, but we did see why they are high on him, but also why he struggled a little bit. They told us coming in, of course, a lot of heat, but some control issues.
Yep, and there's a nice play. Good defensive position. The ball coming back, and you're absolutely right, Dick. We knew he had a good arm, but everything that we had been told about him, as you take a good look at him with pitching coach Frank Viola, is what we saw tonight. Not using his off-speed pitches very much. Had a good fastball. When he got it up, these hitters were banging on it. When it was down in the zone, they weren't touching it.
Nate Fryman stands in. He had the RBI single back in the third. Can't stop himself. Fryman, the PCL leader, and runs batted in. And Lauren has gone back to work downstairs, but the food remains behind.
Oh,
so
she left the food.
That's what's important.
Would you like something?
I'll wait till the inning's over.
Okay.
Because once I get started, it's hard to stop.
I mean, this burger here's got everything on it.
Fryman reaching. Josh Satin. Go back downstairs to Lauren. Lauren?
Well, Fryman married his college sweetheart. The two were Duke's ACC Senior Male and Female Athletes of the Year in 2009. She also is an LPGA golfer. And, you know, I talked to him about it. He caddied for her for a few of her tournaments. He said it was very nerve-wracking. He calculated the yardage. He didn't tell her what clubs to use. He said this year she went ahead and took the whole season off. She basically froze her pro card. But next year she might be back at it. That's a really supportive husband and wife. I like that.
But he also said he would not play against her because he knows
smart man.
He has
Smart man.
He has a hard time breaking 100. My guess is she doesn't climb into the cage during BP. You know, they don't cross lines that way, but that is a great story.
I'm wondering, though, how that works out, because I know how that would work out in my family.
Jake Elmore trying to battle his way back against that young man, Zach Thornton. Matt Reynolds should wrap things up, and he does. 1-2-3 inning for the new pitcher for the 51s. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth. Sacramento leads at 5-1. Minor league baseball game of the week action here on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, where the River Cats lead Las Vegas 5-1. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner. Now we're joined in our booth by Greg Vaughn, the father, the proud father of Corey Vaughn. And just what is it like seeing your son work his way up through the pros just as you did?
Well, I tell you what, as a player, you can handle the ups and downs, but watching your son go through them, it's a little tough.
That is really true. And he and I both know we've got a lot of guys that we played with and against that have their kids that are coming up and playing the game right now. And every one of them, to a man, is said, I can control what's going on when I'm out there, but I can't control it when my boys out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
How often do you guys talk hitting?
Well, you know what? I think we talked a little bit more than he wanted to earlier.
Yeah.
You know, when he was younger. But it was all in preparation for, you know, this time of his life. You know what I mean? It was about getting a foundation and, you know, have an idea of what you want to do up there because, you know, to get where he's trying to get, you can't adjust game to game or week to week. It's pitch to pitch, you know, and I tried to instill that in him in an early age. But now I sit back and I wait for him to call me after the game or before the game, or he's, you know, Dad, can you come to town and, you know, come to BP or something, you know. But, you know, as a player, when we play, we struggle. Our swing never changes. But it's how we're thinking mentally, where we're trying to attack the ball, if we're letting it travel, not travel. In most cases, when we're struggling, you know, we're going to get the ball. We're going out there, getting off that back leg. So, you know, when Corey calls me, and depending on the situation, you know, it's like, Dad, I'm struggling, I'm out front. You know, back the ball up. Just lift your pitch up. And you know me, the first question they asked me when we went to the World Series after 50 home runs were, are you going to continue to swing early in the count? I said, you know, I hit third ever since I came to the big leagues. And if they throw the ball up, out over the plate, and straight, I've been hitting fastballs since I've been 7, so I'm going to continue to hit fastball.
Did that always come easy for you, the hitting part of it?
Yeah, I was a football player that, you know, like I said, for me, I tried to play baseball like football. You know, I think nowadays, and you can probably attest to this, that, you know, a lot of parents.
How about that, Pops?
There you go.
What do you think?
Got the head out.
What did you see there?
Well, like I said, he hit early in the count. You know, it's difficult now because, you know, so much of these philosophies are going back to, you know, guys that really haven't never played. You know what I mean? If I go to, let's just say, San Francisco, and, you know, when you had Lentz come in this time, Matt Cain, all these guys, I don't want to hit with 2 strikes. You know what I mean? I'm having a long weekend. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's hard. I think we need to switch back to the philosophy of hit to walk instead of walk to hit.
Well, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on in Cincinnati right now that they've talked about Joey Votto, who's too particular at the plate because he's in the third position, and his job is to drive in runs, but he takes a lot of pride in walking. And, you know, you didn't like them. I mean, you want to know those guys out there, you're going to get them in because you get paid when those guys come home.
Without a doubt. You know, you have certain, you know, spots in the order for certain things. You know, you hit 3, 4, 5, 6, your job is to drive in runs. And when you have your best player with a man on third base and 1 out, and he's taking 2-0 and 3-1 fastballs, he's doing the other team a favor, I think. But, you know, Joey Votto is a great player.
Yes, sir.
But for me, I'd rather hit 260 and 130 and 40 than, you know, I don't even know what OPS stands for.
I don't
you know what I mean?
I'm with you, man. I don't either. They got stuff now that we never had when we played. I don't know what that means.
Vaughn is at first base, and you saw Lindblom throw over a couple times, which leads me to my next question. He is not, as I understand it, expected to put up the power numbers that you did. He's more of a line drive, steal a base, stretch one kind of player. Is he indeed that different from you?
Oh,
well,
he's scoring here.
He may well.
Right here.
He's got to stay at third. Ground rule double by Matt Dendecker off the top of the order. Tough break for Las Vegas, but man at second and third and 1 out.
Well, for me, I think Corey has just as much power as I do.
Really?
But, yes, I do. I really do. But I think, you know, when I was coming up, once again, it goes back to the high school coaches, the college coaches, and even the Little League coaches now, you know, the 8-year-old travel ball teams.
Yeah.
You know, the guys are calling pitches and they're telling guys, get hit by a pitch, don't swing at the first pitch, let them walk you. You know what? Baseball, I probably wouldn't have played baseball if I had a guy telling me I had to walk.
Gosh.
You know what I mean? It's, you know, it's a game. It's not about how many notches you get on your belt and how many, you know, what does travel ball stand for? I appreciate all the coaches in America and in the world, but
travel swing.
Travel ball stands for if you have $2,000, $3,000, you can play travel ball.
That's right.
That's what it stands for.
Yep.
So if we win games, it's not about that. It's about teaching these kids and letting these kids go out there and experience baseball. If you're a base stealer, I don't care if you're not a base stealer. Run every single time you get on base, especially in Little League and high school. If you get thrown out, so what? At least you're going to learn to run and learn how to play the game.
That's why we're going to make a play,
Yeah, and that's why we're getting passed up. You know what? I had coaches, if I got thrown out, hey, go again.
Good.
Go again.
Yeah.
If I swung and missed, hey, keep swinging.
Favorite manager?
Yeah, keep swinging.
Who's your favorite manager?
Oh, shoot.
Put him on the spot.
Well,
we all like them, most of all of them anyway, but sometimes you had a favorite. Like mine was Joe Torre when I got to play in New York. So.
Yeah.
Well, Joe Torre would have been mine, too, if I won 5 World Series rings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, really.
A little bit.
Of course, that was across town, though, so it didn't really matter.
Broken bat, that's going to score a run. But an out at first. Nicely done by Fryman to stay on the bag. RBI for Matt Reynolds.
Good play there at shortstop, too. We can see why they call him Magic. Pretty smooth. Not that I'm partial or anything to shortstops when them come in and make a play like that. But
we're talking with Greg Vaughn, who is the father of Corey, who just scored. And I've got to ask, how difficult has it been for him through the years to manage his diabetes? Because just what a job he's done here. He's playing AAA baseball, and obviously he's not let it slow him down.
Well, you know, I think me and his mom both, well, more so her because I was gone, you know, but she, we didn't let it be an excuse. You know what I mean? We all have different things, and unfortunately, I was crushed. It sucked that my son, you know, being in Toronto, and I get a call that he has, you know, diabetes. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, I flew home and I stayed in the hospital with him for 3 days. And you know, when you're in the children's ward and you see all these parents and families going in to these rooms, and then all of a sudden you see the priest or the pastor starting to come in. Wow. You know, we have something that we can manage. You know what? It's not fair. We don't like it, but at least, you know, there's something out there that's worse. You know, at least with all the, you know, the research and you know, the doctors, you know, applying themselves and all the money that's going into the, you know, diabetes research. You know, we can treat it with medicine.
Yep.
You know what I mean? We could have been dealt something else. You know, where you didn't have a choice or a chance. So, for me, I think, you know, Corey's done an outstanding job. Knock on wood that we've been truly blessed that, you know, we haven't had, you know, one of those diabetic comas or anything like that. For the most part, he knows his body, he knows it well, and he does a great job.
Well, here's a guy that everywhere he's been has been a leader.
Stay put. I have a few more questions for you if you would. Greg Vaughn is with us in the booth. Another run put up here in Sacramento. It's a 5-2 game. Back with more in just a minute on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner with a minor league game of the week. 5-2 ball game, visiting with Greg Vaughn, whose son Corey is playing for the Las Vegas 51s. And a lot of movement from this ballpark, or from this ball club, I should say, up to the bigs. He holding out hope that they'll get a good chance with the Mets this year.
Oh, yeah. You know, I mean, I always told Corey, you know, even, you know, my 2 years in the minor leagues, when I was coming up, I didn't want to do what the minor leagues were doing. What were the big leaguers doing? My job was to get to the big leagues. You know, I didn't want to think like a minor leaguer. I didn't want to do what the minor leaguers were doing. I didn't care where they ate. You know, I wanted to go eat where the big leaguers were eating. So what did I have to do? I had to, you know, I had to outwork everyone.
You must be getting more meal money than I got when I came up.
No. Like I said, that 2 years was enough. Trust me. You know what I mean? You know, $13 a day didn't go very far.
You got $13 a day?
I think so.
Man.
But you know, now, you know, they do a great job. Every organization, you know, they have chefs. They have, you know, I walked into Port St. Lucie, and they had flat screens, and they had a chef. I said, you guys aren't trying to get out anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough that, you know, that the organizations do such a great job in showing these guys and giving them every opportunity to make it, you know, as far as nutrition, TVs, clubhouses. I mean, everything, travel. Everything they have, what are they trying to leave?
I hear you.
I keep hearing from my partner everywhere we go on our travels with a minor league game of the week. Boy, these ballparks weren't like this when I was in the minors, and I got to think they weren't. Tell me a little bit about what you've seen as far as the minor league's concerned. And here's a chance to steal first, but nope. These ballparks, these facilities on the minor league level, yeah, I know you want to get to the bigs, but at least when you're playing, you've got a decent place to play.
Like I said, I mean, everything is first class nowadays. You know, you can probably count on your hand all the cities that don't have a new ballpark.
Yep.
I mean, at one time, I think I was still playing when the River Cats were here. I think they were drawing more than the A's were. You know,
wow.
You know, they were drawing more than anybody else in minor league baseball.
Yep.
Sacramento's a tremendous baseball city, and, you know, hopefully one day we could have a team, being born and raised here. It's a big sports town, so, I mean, Rayleigh Field is unbelievable. I mean, every ballpark you go to, like I said, when I was in A-ball, you got peanut butter and jelly, you had to make it yourself. You got a couple orange slices, and you got some Gatorade that I think it was
good
Kool-Aid.
watered down.
Yeah.
What about that soup we used to get?
Soup, but you know what? They didn't want you comfortable in the minor leagues.
It's true.
That's a good point.
The objective was to get out of there. Don't be comfortable. And the first thing I told my son, if your job was to, if you wanted to get drafted and that was your goal, let's go get some champagne. Let's open it up, and then let's go get a job tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's not the goal. That's not the light at the end of the rainbow. The objective is to get to the big leagues and get there as fast as you can, play the game the right way, respect the game, and because when you take off this jersey, tomorrow they're gonna play this game somewhere.
Ain't that the truth?
They're not gonna stop because of you. So as good as we think we are in our own mind, or the people that are around us that are telling us that's not the way it is, unfortunately.
You know who told me that very lesson was one of our coaches in New York was Willie Mays. I said, you've got to be just crazy with me. He said, Doug, once I quit, you see they're still playing.
Greg Vaughn, thank you so much for joining us and visiting, and congratulations, great son.
Thank you. Thank you guys for
Good to see you, buddy.
You guys do an awesome job.
Thanks. Greg Vaughn, whose son Corey is trying to help his team come back here in Sacramento. Back with more on the CBS Sports Network. They are dancing on the infield here in Sacramento, and why not? Great night for baseball. The home team leads at 5-2. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn back downstairs to Lauren Gardner. Lauren.
Those grounds crew guys have sick moves, guys. And, this is a high-budget production, so we have wardrobe changes. You can see I am now rocking my beautiful River Cats jersey. I'm alongside Rose Holland, who is the merchandise manager here for the River Cats, and Mike on the mic, the in-game MC. Now, Rose, is this a very special jersey that I'm wearing right now?
It is. This is the 4th of July jersey, and the team will be wearing it on the 2nd and 3rd of July, as well as the hat, 4th of July New Era hat that Mike's got on there.
Mike, you're a pretty good model. Let's see what's on the back of your jersey.
Got my name back there, custom job done by my good friend Rose here.
Mike on the mic, so you can have custom-made jerseys. You can get all of this on shopmilb.com. And let's talk about the Stars and Stripes hat for a second. Some of the proceeds go to a very good cause.
They sure do. The portion of the proceeds will go to Welcome Back Veterans, which is a wonderful cause, and we're glad to participate.
Especially for the 4th of July. Thank you to our military and veterans. Guys, when I get this thing personalized, what do you think I should put on the back?
I would say LG Red.
LG Red, I'll take that.
Yeah, I like that.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
And for more Sacramento River Cats gear and all things minor league baseball, please visit milbstore.com.
Is this fun?
Yes, sir.
I mean, this is.
I didn't know if that was a rhetorical question.
No, yeah.
Well, you're sitting there eating the rest of that, and you've been waiting to polish it off. The burger made with the donut.
Oh. Well, you never know where you.
Lauren's rocking the jersey. We've just met Branch Rickey and Greg Vaughn. What else could we ask for?
Can't imagine. Maybe a little ketchup for my fries.
Man, you are just demanding. You're going diva on me. Andrew Brown got it done his last time up. Sent one high and deep over the left field wall. Got his team on the scoreboard. Made it a 5-1 game. Back in the 5th inning. 51's added another run in the 6th.
Boy, he's got a good swing.
I was just about to say.
And some power, Not one of the bigger guys we've seen. Right at about 6 foot, a couple 100 pounds, but obviously very strong, quick bat.
Well, we talked about Brown and Fryman, the 2 cleanup hitters. Both have driven in a run tonight as we led off our broadcast. Off speed, looked like he was just out ahead of it. The highly touted Noah Syndergaard knocked out of the game by the River Cats. Josh Lindblom still on the bump for Sacramento, coming off a victory his last time out, and has beaten these 51s already once this year. Next pitch will be just pitch number 76.
with a big right-hander. Beat Round Rock his last time out. Trying for just his 3rd win at home this season. The pick by the Magician.
Wow.
Andy Perino. By the way, that's the nickname that the play-by-play man here in Sacramento, John Dukow, has tagged him with, and why not?
He is smooth.
He was telling us all about him before the game began, and your friend Leon Lee, who's his color commentator, basically said, yeah, what he said. I mean, he loves him too.
How do you not like him? He's just smooth. And I see where the comparison to a Mark Belanger or a Buddy Harrelson, except maybe with a little stronger arm.
You know, it was interesting listening to obviously the conversations with you and Leon. You guys go way back, like so many people in baseball, and Steve Scarsoni. Alan Dykstra stands in. Oh, an unfortunate foul ball. I thought one of the most interesting things that Steve mentioned was the fact that, you know, he knew he wasn't going to, as he said, slide right into a big league coaching spot when he got out. So he really valued the jobs he had. And then as his kids were growing up, he left the game for 6 years, got into real estate, did well, but then he wanted to get back into baseball. And, you know, there aren't that many jobs. It's not that easy. But he talked about what it's like when you're not around the game and when you just visit and that itch just eats you up.
It really does. It still does for me on an occasion. And I fortunately get a chance to go to spring training and do the fantasy camp, which takes care of that itch. But it's in your blood. I mean, if you had to just stop broadcasting all of a sudden or doing the work that you do with television, so we see just a good fastball come right underneath the hands. There's something about it. One of my dear friends who used to be a college coach says, you know, just one more time to be able to go out and sweat my rear end off and throw bat in practice. He said, I'd really love to do that. So you either love it or you don't love it. And I'm telling you, I love it. And you look, and there hadn't been a person leave this ballpark yet. This is amazing.
The game's too good. The night's too good. 3-2 pitch. Blew it right by him. Believe it or not, first strikeout of the night for Lynn Bloom.
He does, as you said, Dick, just a good fastball runs away from him a little bit at 92 miles an hour. And this is a very good offensive ball club from Las Vegas. As we mentioned earlier, they've lost a lot of ball players. They still got some firepower in this lineup. But tonight just being handcuffed.
Now Kevin Plawecki. Purdue's Male Athlete of the Year in 2012. First player in Boilermaker baseball history named the Big Ten Player of the Year. Was hitting .326 in Binghamton and driven in 44 runs when they brought him up. Looking for that first base hit tonight.
Kind of odd that time. 2-0 breaking ball, having trouble getting the fastball over, so he came back with a 2-0 breaking ball with a 5-2 lead.
But he's down in the count, 3-0. Lynn Bloom threw 4 innings, had pitched to the minimum before Brown led off of that home run in the 5th. The Magic Act works again for Perino. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across in the 7th for Las Vegas. And the River Cats to the bottom of the 7th with a 5-2 lead. Minor League Baseball game of the week on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, where the River Cats lead Las Vegas 5-2. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, who enjoys a smooth middle infielder as much as anything in baseball, don't you?
I do. I love anybody who positions players right and plays them right, and we're seeing it from the Magic Man, Andy Perino, tonight at shortstop. He has really looked good.
See him a little bit later on as he is the on-deck hitter. And he'll face for the first time that young man, Zach Thornton, came in out of the bullpen for Las Vegas. He's done a nice job so far, trying to keep his team close. Sacramento jumped out to a 5-0 lead with 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth. And as you can see, no one has left his ballpark. It's a good game. 1 in the fifth and 1 in the sixth for Las Vegas. And Ryan Ortiz will try to add to his night. As you can see, a walk and a single, scored a run. Came around on a double by Shane Peterson that cleared the bases as Greg Vaughn's son Corey nearly made a spectacular catch in left field, but just couldn't corral it. Went for a 3-run double. There's Corey. He's been a busy man tonight. Covered a lot of ground out there in left.
Can you imagine being a proud pop like that? Having your son that follows in your footsteps and with a chance to make it into the big league.
Yeah.
So it's even more amazing when you see like the 2 Griffies that hit home runs in the same game. That was just phenomenal.
Well, and it's like Greg said, you know, you can take care of you, but when your loved one's down there, there's nothing you can do to help him. Anybody who's seen their son play in Little League knows what that means. Well, that might have been an easier play, but Ortiz really got down the line, though. Nice throw by Josh Satin, 1 out. I said Perino's on deck. Actually, Nick Buss will step up now. Perino after that.
You know who surprised me tonight a little bit with their speed was Fryman. He hit a ground ball. I mean, he hustles, not only hustles, but got down the line really well. I know the guys were excited about being on TV tonight.
Oh, yeah. Well, and Fryman as well made the turn at first when that throw came into home on his RBI single and beat the throw to second.
Exactly.
Remember now, he's 6'8". He covers a lot of ground with those long strides. Nick Buss, an RBI on a sac fly his last time up. Buss chosen by the Dodgers out of USC. That had to be a real thrill to be taken by the hometown team in the 8th round. Was drafted as well by the Dodgers out of high school, or rather out of junior college, so obviously they wanted him. Souvenir ball just short of the berm, and it bounces into the grass. Or does it? No, they still. Oh, nice job. It's funny watching all the kids from the berm come racing over. They thought that ball was going to bounce to them.
High fives for everybody.
Zach Thornton with a strikeout. Now take a look at the man they call the magician.
Well, he is smooth. One of the things he does so good, that's a tough play. Backs up, good strong arm right there, and you're throwing to a 6'8" first baseman with help. Just smooth. Ball starts hooking back on him. He got a great jump, but no hot dogging. He just gets it done. And I tell you, one of the secrets about being a good defensive player is anticipation and being able to just have a feel for where that ball's going to go, and he certainly has that.
You like the nickname?
I love the nickname.
He makes base hits disappear.
As a matter of fact, Johnny came over here a few minutes ago and high-fived me. He said, was I wrong?
Sean Ducal, the voice of the River Cats. Reno scored a run as he walked and came around on the double by Peterson. That was in the 3rd inning.
Kind of looks a little bit like Chris Burke, our buddy.
Former Houston Astro.
Yeah.
Perino spent some time in Oakland. He was sent back down. Rangers claimed him off waivers earlier this year. And they waived him. The Athletics took him back.
If you want to see how many of these guys have been up to the big leagues or have had a part of spring training with the big leagues, all you have to do is look at their shoes. Because the shoes are all green and white, which certainly is what the parent club wears. Another excited fan.
Another great souvenir play. They're having a ball here at Rayleigh Field. Zach Thornton is really cranking up the smoke on the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts to end the 7th inning. We'll go to the 8th. The River Cats lead the 51s 5-2 on
CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, and you can see how the River Cats jumped out. The 51s have been battling back behind Andrew Brown. Tough night for Noah Syndergaard so far. Shane Peterson with a big hit for the home team, and Josh Lindblom sharp over 7 innings. It stands to win this one for the River Cats. But a new pitcher will come in and try to nail things down, or at least get that ball rolling. And it's Eric O'Flaherty, who is here on a major league rehab assignment, 6'2", 220, of Walla Walla, Washington. Played with the Braves last year, where he was 3-0 in 18 innings. And a good look at his numbers.
Yeah, very successful stand up in the big leagues. If you're a left-hander, they will keep you around for a little bit of extra time, because everybody needs a good left-hander. And whether you're a starter, middle, long reliever, or closer.
So Flaherty trying to keep up the good work and trying to cool off Las Vegas, which scored in the 5th and 6th. But it was a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th, thanks in large part to Andy Perino at short. Josh Satin will try to get things going. 0 for 2 tonight. Satin, a graduate of Cal Berkeley, first team All-American for the Golden Bears. Flaherty's got him thinking.
I'll tell you, you go from 90-something, all of a sudden now you got a lefty coming in throwing in the upper 80s, turning the ball over. As we mentioned before, there's not a left-hander that was ever born that throws the ball straight.
Say that with just a tinge of bitterness.
No. You see the ball turns over.
Let's take a look at the MILB.com news from around the league for this past week. And what a year Chris Bryant's having in AAA. 5 homers in his first 6 AAA games with the Iowa Cubs, whom we saw earlier this year against the Memphis Redbirds. Each of his first 5 hits, home run.
Wow.
Somebody says he's on pace for 52 homers. The last minor leaguer to hit 50, Ron Kittle in 1982. That's unbelievable.
Wow. Kittle could hit him too. I mean, long.
He and Joey Gallo, Bryant Gallo, selected to the 2014 Futures game, both born in Las Vegas. How about that? Number 2 prospect for the Cubs, taken 2nd in the 2013 draft out of University of San Diego, where he won the Golden Spikes Award. See if the magician can make him disappear.
Are you kidding
Not
me?
quite.
He did all he could do, though.
Yep.
Great job of barehanding the ball. Play a little bit deep. So that ball was in no man's land. Got a good hop, barehanded it. Close play at first base. But you see why he's called the magician. I mean, he gets a good break. Ball takes a hop all in one motion.
And he threw a strike.
And throws a strike. Just not in time.
You know, and with all due respect to most of the other shortstops, you see that ball and you're thinking base hit all the way. With this young man, you're just not quite sure.
Well, you know what I like about him too is he plays everybody properly. He's got a good handle on where his pitcher's going to try to throw it. He adjusting his defense that way, and he makes everything look routine.
Some other headlines for you. The Lowell Spinners, a great story. They're going to retire the number of Ryan Westmoreland, a former Red Sox prospect. He retired prior to the 2013 season because he's got a brain bleed, which is going to prevent him from pursuing his career. Nice job by Ortiz of keeping that ball in front of him. Drafted in the 5th round in 08 and had a nice career going with the Lowell Spinners. 19 steals in 60 games when he was 19, and he was called by the Spinners assistant GM John Boswell the best player on the field and the best player in the league at age 19, but sidelined for the rest of his career. So tremendous gesture by Lowell to retire his number.
We got too many of these brain things going on with baseball players for whatever reason. And I don't think they're concussions. I just think there's something going on that you hate seeing, all that from the neck up injuries and diseases and stuff. And
I don't know that that was a result of an injury, but I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Brandon Allen trying to help make something happen. Promotions across the minor leagues. Jose Peraza with Mississippi, 12 for 23, 10 runs scored in his first 5 AA games. Mookie Betts has reached base in each of his first 20 AAA games. And Boog Powell got 3 hits and a truck in his first Cal game, his first Cal League game. And by that I mean he came back across the country playing with about an hour and a half from his home and got a chance to go visit, and there was his old truck waiting on him.
There's
so he got
another
a chance
Boog Powell?
There is indeed. He ranks 3rd in OBP among full season hitters, so he got a chance to get reacquainted with his old truck.
Boog had a little brother, only weighed about 270. His name was Richard. Could hit a softball from here to San Francisco.
Oh, he can't quite make the play. And an infield single loads him up for Las Vegas.
Boy, Vaughn hitting the ball right on the butt. First pitch swinging again.
Yep. Corey Vaughn with a base hit, his 2nd of the night.
I tell you, he does a good job just to knock this ball down. But it looked like he was going to make the play and may have tried to flip it a little bit too soon. See, he's thinking of flipping that ball up for 2. But a good job just to keep it in the infield.
Base hit number 7 on the night for Las Vegas. Now the River Cats with a challenge. Top of the order, Matt Dendecker. Doubled his last time up, former Florida Gator.
Got to see him a few times, didn't you?
We did indeed. An all-SEC defensive player. 2nd team all-conference. Got to play in the World University baseball game back in 08. Pirates drafted him in the 16th round his junior year, but he went back to Florida, hit .358, scored 64 runs, got a chance to play in the 2010 College World Series, so it worked out for him.
Well, sometimes that's a tough decision to make when you want to play pro ball, but that extra year of college ball can sure help you.
Finally, Pat Venditt switch pitching for Scranton Wilkes-Barre. What a story. 28-year-old Yankees farmhand, 2.32 ERA, 49 strikeouts across 2 levels this year. Pitches from both sides, has a glove with a thumb on each side so he can switch right there on the mound. You can't change in the middle of an at-bat, but he can change as needed per batter. Wild pitch and a score run. 5-3 game. You ever seen a guy throw from both sides in one game?
Yeah, but I think he was in Little League at the time.
He's getting it done.
There's a video of one of these kids doing this, and I'm not sure how old he is, may have been high school or college. And when the hitter was a switch hitter, so the hitter would turn around, then he would turn around. And this went on forever, then they had to change the rule.
Big chance here for Dendecker. He can tie it up. Good pitch by O'Flaherty. Venditt says, I'm sure it could be viewed as a sideshow, and it's my job to show people it's not. He said, if I do my job and throw strikes, and I am doing that. MILB.com, your home to all the latest news, stats, and schedules from around the minors. Check it out today. MILB.com. Stay up to date on all the action. Great breaking ball. Gets Dendecker. So that's just the first out.
It's a big out. I mean, he just kept working. You can see it looked like a slider maybe that's down, and he threw him 2 nasty pitches, the last 2 pitches of that sequence.
Now Matt Reynolds, 2nd round draft pick back in 2012. Rick Rodriguez with a quick trip to the mound. Pitching coach for Sacramento. Spent parts of 4 seasons in the bigs himself.
You know, one of the things about these coaches, too, they're not only imparting the knowledge that they know to these young kids, but a lot of them have some big league service and would love to get back for a little bit of time in the big leagues so they get that 10 years and that full pension. And I don't blame them.
No.
Steve Scarsoni, I think, has the better part of 7 years, just needs 3 more years. And, you know, at 40-something years of age, he has a good opportunity to get back there.
Jeremy McBride loosening. 6'2", 225, the right-hander. He would be the 3rd pitcher of the night for Sacramento. Flaherty trying to work out of a jam, a run in, 2 on, 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Makes a little something off. But now the hitters count for Matt Reynolds.
Matt already with a couple of hits tonight, so been swinging the bat pretty well.
51s with the best record in the PCL.
Yeah, they got off to that fabulous start. And then they started unloading. But that's your job. Your job is to develop, train, teach them not only how to play, how to win, and then how to dress when you get to the big leagues.
Hammered to center. Bus on the run. He'll haul it in. And that's going to get a run home. 2nd run of the inning for the 51s.
We've messed around here and got a ball game, Dick.
Now you know why Vegas has got the best record in the league.
Yeah, talking to them early, they said they're not really worried about their offense. They know they can swing the bat.
Brandon Allen comes in. Corey Vaughn at 3rd, and this will do it for Eric O'Flaherty. 2nd trip to the mound means new pitcher. So the 51s rough up the reliever, and that leads to another bullpen call. We'll tell you all about the new man in just a minute. 2 runs in. The tying run is 90 feet away with 2 outs. Back with more of the minor league baseball game of the week on the CBS Sports Network. Back in Sacramento, where they're singing and dancing, but they're not quite as confident as they were earlier. It's a 5-4 ball game. With the tying run on 3rd base, and that young man takes over on the hill. Jeremy McBride, right-hander, 6'2", 225. There you see his numbers. 7 saves on the year. 16 walks in those 33 innings, along with 33 strikeouts. He will try to keep Wilmer Flores from tying this game.
If you're Lindblom right now, you're just hoping for an out. Pitched your heart out. The base hit here gives you no decision.
He really was sharp tonight.
Yeah, he was. Throwing a lot of pitches, I think. He was probably close to 100 or better.
It's the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Flores bounced into that double play in the 1st. That's going to be foul ground, but an opportunity for the River Cats, and they take full advantage as Martinez squeezes for out number 3. But Las Vegas hangs up 2 more. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Sacramento 5, Las Vegas 4 on the minor league baseball game of the week. Sacramento nursing a 5-4 lead, bottom of the 8th inning. Tomorrow's conversations start tonight. Get the latest word in sports on Leadoff coming up next, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner. Nobody leaving the berm so far here at Rayleigh Field in Sacramento. That's down the right field line, because they are hoping to see their ball club wrap up a win over the Las Vegas 51s, and Eric Goodell takes the mound. 6'3", 190.
Hillsborough, California. 34 strikeouts in 36 innings. Given up a lot of hits and a lot of walks. But Las Vegas has relied on him quite a bit this year, Doug.
Yeah, they have. You know, with the kind of scoring that you see in the Pacific Coast League, if you're a pitcher, you can almost guarantee that you're going to get a lot of action. You very seldom see dominant pitching because this is a hitter's league. People can put up good numbers when they come out here, gets them to the big leagues. So if you're a pitcher, you better keep the ball down when you come into the Pacific Coast League.
Well, you got to hope he can do the job that Zach Thornton did. 29 pitches, 24 for strikes.
Wow, that's impressive.
It is indeed. 2 strikeouts in the 7th, a strikeout in the 6th. Frank Viola, the pitching coach for the 51s. You heard him talk to Lauren earlier tonight. Just trying to give his pitchers something of a wide berth so they can learn.
And I think that's good. I love that attitude.
It's sort of similar to what Greg Vaughn was telling us. You know, let them play. Don't micromanage everything.
I tell you, it was great talking to him. He was a really nice ball player and a leader on most of the teams that he was with.
Shane Peterson to lead things off here for the River Cats, and he's getting his hacks early.
Big hit of the game so far. Had that double that off the glove of Vaughn, driving in 3.
Drafted by the Cardinals in the 2nd round in 08.
How'd your boys let him get away?
Well, they traded him for Matt Holliday.
I can understand.
Well, that was a challenger right there, wasn't it?
It was. 94-mile-an-hour fastball just coming right at you.
Didn't get cheated. But he's down on the count 0-2.
Good hard sinker that time. That looked like a split finger right there.
Split a little too much.
Yeah. Boy, I just think it's got to be really exciting for guys to get the chance to play on national TV when you're in the minor league.
In front of a big crowd like this.
Will it hit him?
Well, he's trying to sell it.
Well, he did a pretty good job. He should have just kept going. Oh.
Well, it looked like the umpire mission wasn't.
Yeah, I think that ball is probably 4 or 5 inches from him.
Yeah. He didn't get a good look at it, so he really couldn't sell it. 2-2.
Well, he's come back with 3 consecutive pitches. All look like they're the same and having trouble throwing them for strikes after getting 0-2, which would make you think that he has to come back with the fastball right here.
Goodell does not want to lose the leadoff man.
No, your team's fought back and got yourself in the ball game just down 1 run.
Challenged him again. Almost a clean catch in one of the suites.
I really like the design of this ballpark. You get a good shot of one of the suites. A lot of baseballs are finding their way up there tonight.
Off the fists and into center field. Peterson battles back. He was down 0-2.
Yeah, that's just a great at bat that time. He was able not to pull off with a ball. Gets an inside fastball, stays on it.
Not only off the fist, it shattered his bat.
Oh my goodness. You can see he's got the handle in his hand.
Take it halfway to first base. Whatever it takes, he sacrificed the lumber for a base hit.
That's all right when they go down like that.
Well, in this case, you might think in the 8th inning that Sacramento might play small ball, but not with this young man at the plate.
Yeah, there's nothing small about this guy.
No, sir. And a good pitch to start him off by Goodell. Struggled late in that at-bat against Peterson, but locates against Fryman.
Fryman with a base hit tonight. Got kind of an unorthodox swing. Watch him kind of drop that bat like an Eric Davis used to do, and then gets it back into hitting position.
Boy, Goodell razor sharp on that one. He's ahead again, 0-2.
That ball looks like it comes right on the inside corner.
Just above the knee.
A lot of movement. Got a good hard sinker. Now he may come back with the split fingers, what it looks like. It's exactly what it was, but he got it up in the zone. He don't want it that high on a good hitter like this.
And if you're just joining us, we talked to this young man who has 14 home runs about how the ball carries in this ballpark, and he said not really that well. Wind blows right to left, especially at night, late at night. And the air's cooled off. Breaking ball. 6-4-3. Nicely done by Las Vegas. Reynolds to Flores to Allen. And a key double play for the 51s. 2 down.
Tailor-made right there. Pitcher's best friend. You see he comes back with another split finger. Good job that time by Reynolds coming in. Makes the turn very easy for Flores at second base.
Now Jake Elmore will try to keep this inning alive for the River Cats. So named because the ballpark is just past the Sacramento River, which divides Sacramento and West Sacramento.
So you saw the River Dogs last week. You got the River Cats this week.
Yep.
Is that right?
That's exactly right. This team actually began play, this particular franchise, in 1978 as the Vancouver Canadians. Sacramento has led all of minor league baseball in attendance in each of its first 8 seasons here at Raley Field. Forbes lists it as the most valuable team in minor league baseball. Now you see a list of its accomplishments, including back-to-back AAA championships in 07 and 08, back-to-back PCLs in 03 and 04, and a great look at the skyline lit up, the government building in the background. Driven into right, base hit. Second hit of the inning for the River Cats. First hit of the night for Elmore.
Got a half fastball. Rakes it out to right field. Boy, just look, just puts that foot down. Not a lot of movement.
Pitch up in the zone. Now Anthony Aliotti led off the fourth with a walk. Reached third on a wild pitch. Came in to score on a sac fly, and that right now is the difference in the game.
Are they having a concert after this?
Might be having some fireworks. You never know. Why do you ask? You see people with instruments out on the berm?
No, I just see nobody leaving.
It's a good game.
It is a good game, but you know, I don't care where you go. Most ballparks, you got people taking off and leaving.
Yeah. Got that outside edge. Aliotti struck out his last time up. From Boise, Idaho. Couldn't stop himself.
Boy, doing a lot of rubbing on that baseball. You see him rubbing, trying to get that good grip on the split finger. He put that ball up against his pants and try to get the good grip.
Aliotti last year led the A's minor leaguers, all of them in base hits, with 160.
That's the thing about forkball pitchers. What they'll do is they'll start off with their forkball grip. They can always easily adjust it to a fastball, and you can't tell that they're changing it. But if you've just got a fastball grip and then you try to adjust it to a forkball grip, a lot of times you can see them messing with it in their gloves.
2-2 pitch. It'll be an easy stolen base for Jake Elmore. Now an insurance run at second base with 2 out.
Well, that's just good recognition of the ball in the dirt that time. Elmore, he had a really good lead when the ball went down. He got a good jump on a wild pitch.
Yeah, they'll call it a wild pitch. He left.
But did you see how far off the base he was?
He had a great lead, which is why I thought at first he was taking a shot at the stolen base.
Gets him a man in scoring position.
Yep. Ooh. Now, two runners on. He had such a big lead. I looked up and he was heading for second. I thought he was already going.
You know what?
The ball hit the dirt.
It almost looked like a delayed steal.
Yeah. But just heads up base running. So that double play is huge right now. Elmore at second, Alioli at first. Jose Martinez, a comebacker his last time up, 0 for 3 on the night. Mentioned that Alioli is from Boise. His dad, in fact, played football at Boise State. He was a quarterback. In fact, led the team to the 1AA national title back in 1980.
And that wonderful blue field they have.
I've actually seen it up close. It's really unusual.
How's it look in person?
It's really blue. You know, and it's right next to, as you get a good look at the defensive alignment for Las Vegas, it's right next to their basketball arena, which is on the inside kind of looks like an opera house with tiered stands, you know, like I think 3 different layers of seats. Very interesting. There's the 0-2. You know, there's an urban legend out there that says that ducks will try to land on it because they think it's water and ultimately fly to their demise, but they assured us when we were up there that's not true. Big pitch coming up for both teams. Here's the 1-2. And again, Lewicki does a nice job of keeping that ball in front of him.
He's had trouble with that split finger that he's throwing. He's got a couple up, or he's been really down. So just trying to get the good release point on that. It's a hard pitch to control. You see him now getting a good grip. That was a good look at it right there. He's got it. Now he's changing it around a little bit. Maybe going to the fastball.
Flores takes care of business, and the River Cats strand 2. We'll go to the 9th. Sacramento leads at 5-4 here on the minor league baseball game of the week on the CBS Sports Network. 9th inning of a 1-run game. Sacramento leading Las Vegas 5-4. Be sure you join us next Thursday, July 3rd. We'll head to South Carolina, where the Winston-Salem Dash, the White Sox affiliate, travels to Myrtle Beach to take on the Pelicans from the Rangers system. It's the minor league baseball game of the week, 8 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner. It's been a good one. Big early lead for the River Cats, but Las Vegas is chipping away, and Andrew Brown, who got the scoring started for the 51s, leads it off. Had a big fly back in the 5th inning.
Tell you what, the last ball he hit too was right on the button at shortstop. So he's seeing the ball pretty good.
Played his college baseball at Nebraska. Native of Dallas, Texas. Earlier this year, up with the Mets for about 9 games. Couldn't really find a groove. Just 3 for 17. Was called up June the 4th. He had been hitting .359. It's 13 homers and 31 runs batted in AAA ball. There's a lucky fan and an even luckier little girl.
You know, you go up there and you probably are going to pinch hit some, might get some spots starting. 17's really not a good look at you. But he may have been filling in for somebody that was hurt.
Well, he was up earlier this year and then sent back down when the Mets added Bobby Abreu.
Bobby Abreu, that's amazing. 40 years old. Give or take.
Brown showed us earlier why he's such an outstanding prospect.
I'll tell you, the home run he hit went over that 380 mark very easily.
It's 403 to straightaway. Big ballpark. Alleys are deep as well. 2-2 pitch. Big bat heads back to the dugout. And a big out for that young man, Jeremy McBride.
Boy, just a good slider right there on the outside corner. You can see the rotation, the ball coming out of his hand. Just a tough pitch to hit.
Now Alan Dykstra looking for his first base hit.
And they play the big. You've seen this a few times this year, haven't you? The big shift.
Absolutely. More and more teams are using this. I see it a little bit more in college baseball. Second baseman in short right field, shortstop right up the middle. Hammers it the other way, but Peterson with a play. 2 out. So back-to-back outs are the 2 big bats in the middle of the Vegas order. He was trying to go the other way.
Well, he got in his kitchen that time. And it's kind of tempting when you see him playing you that far to pull to not try to hit the ball the other way. Cardinals have a guy like that, Adams. Big first baseman. And I remember the first time I saw him play the Reds. I mean, this kid's big. He's probably 250 or 260. They put the big shift on him. First 3 hits against Cincinnati down the left field line. Thank you.
Kevin Plawecki trying to find his way on against McBride. Foul ground. And it finds the seats. Plawecki hit a laser his last time up.
Well, he
the
did.
Magician Perino made it disappear into his mitt.
You don't reckon our girl Lauren's out eating, do you?
She's got to be full by now. 1-1. She may be out brokering another deal for a jersey, for all we know.
But they McBride, just nice, easy motion. And the next thing you know, it's up there at 93. Comes back with an 83-mile-an-hour slider.
Hammer deep to left. That is gone. Shane Peterson thought he had a shot at it. But Plawecki just clears the wall, and he has tied this game.
I thought he had it.
I did too.
And if he must have just barely missed it. But he gets a fastball, 3-1, works the count right to where he wants it, gets a pitch right over the middle of the plate.
Man.
And he knows it's got a shot. At least he thinks it does, because he's not going all out. You know, it looked like he jumped into the wall instead of up over the wall. He'd have gone straight up, but he jumped back into the wall.
Couldn't tell if it touched his mitt or not, or if it bounced off the top of the wall. Boy, Peterson thought he had the game in his mitt, and I did too. 5-5. Josh Satin single. Came around to scoring a wild pitch his last time up in the 8th inning. As Las Vegas has fought all the way back from a 5-0 deficit. Got him looking. Satin having a word, but to no avail. Still, his team has tied it up because this one snuck out of the yard.
Oh, it hit in his glove.
It did hit in his glove, and it's 5-5 going to the bottom of the 9th. The CBS Sports Network.
Bottom of the 9th inning in Sacramento. The home team sees a 5-0 lead disappear. Las Vegas has tied it 5-5, and a new pitcher, a right-hander on the hill for the 51s, Ryan Reed. Sarasota, Florida, actually was with the Pirates chain last year. Good look at his numbers. 36 strikeouts in 39 innings, couple of saves. Appeared in 7 games for Pittsburgh last season, 11 innings. Spent most of the season with Indianapolis, AAA farm club of the Pirates. Signed at the beginning of the year with the Mets. And now he'll try to work the 9th inning. River Cats offense has gone to sleep. 4 in the 3rd, thanks to a bases loaded double. Sac fly in the 4th. And then zeros after that. Colin Walsh, though, he's had a night. A couple of base hits, scored a run. Fly ball back in the 6th inning for the Stanford graduate. Played for Stanford in 08 when the Cardinal made it to the College World Series. Led the team in homers, runs, and RBIs his 3rd season. Oakland signed him as a minor league free agent back in April of this season. Began his career with the Cardinals, 13th round draft pick.
Getting ahead of him, good purpose pitch right there. Move him off the plate. See if he comes back away now. Ooh, like a slider that time. Took a little bit off of the, maybe it was a cutter. Throwing about 90 miles an hour. That one coming in at 86, so took a little bit off of that pitch.
2-2. And again, Ryan trying to avoid putting the leadoff man aboard. River Cats got the leadoff man on in the 8th, but he was erased in a double play. Next 2 men reached. Vegas worked out of the jam. Leadoff man aboard.
Well, he gets him 0-2 and then tries to be a little bit too careful. And Ortiz already with a base hit. And this crowd, a lot of them have stayed to watch the finale of this one.
Ortiz singled, scored a run in the 3rd, drew a walk in the 4th. You're right. It's getting a little chilly, but fans are watching a good one here at Raleigh Field in Sacramento. Glad to have you along.
Kind of glad you didn't let me wear shorts tonight.
Would have been a fashion faux pas, I think, tonight.
I agree with you.
I mean, you interviewed Branch Rickey. Would you have liked to have done that in shorts?
No, that would have been a little embarrassing.
Now, we will bust them out if it's up around 100 degrees. We have been known to do that
yes, we have.
This summer.
The Branch Rickey. When you think of Branch Rickey, you just look at the...
Oh, man.
The things they have changed in baseball is amazing.
Well, reading up on him earlier as we were, and his grandfather, who was credited with inventing, how about inventing the minor league system? River Cats thinking small ball. And I wasn't aware either. If you look at the Jackie Robinson jersey retired in all of baseball. I wasn't aware that Branch Rickey was credited, that's Branch the first, Mr. Rickey's grandfather, with inventing the batting helmet. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Good bunt by Ortiz.
Oh.
That throw was an adventure. So now the winning run at second, 1 out.
A lot of pitchers don't take that extra step, you know, take that crow hop and throw the ball over there with some authority. because pitchers really have one gear. They're not used to throwing a lob throw. See, Company does a good job fielding and then just sort of lobs it.
Yeah, plants and throws.
Well, good job of Flores to be on the bag and be able to go up and get that ball.
Nick Buss, left-handed hitter against the right-hander Ryan. Sac fly back in the 4th inning. His 38th run batted in of the season. Otherwise, a couple of fly balls, a strikeout. Aggressively swinging at that first pitch. Mentioned earlier, signed by the Dodgers. They called him up to the bigs September the 14th of last year. 1-for-3 in his debut. Had his first major league hit off Tim Lincecum, Mr. No-hitter from last night.
How about that?
That's one to remember.
We thought we had one going one night here.
Yeah, here in the minor league game of the week a few weeks ago, we were in Memphis. Redbirds Cubs, and we saw a no-hitter 8 2/3.
That was exciting. We kind of got into that.
Yeah.
That would have been fun to see.
You would not let me talk about it.
Nope. Which is kind of silly, but
it's the way it has to be.
Oh.
That'll move the runner, and it'll cost Buss another bat. So 2 outs now. Well, the crowd got into that one for some reason.
Yeah, they're just not making the bats like they used to, I don't think.
So now Andy Perino. He's gotten it done with a glove in the arm. Scored a run in the 3rd inning on a walk. And came around. A 3-run double by Peterson. Needs a base hit here to send everybody home happy. The 51s will try to frustrate the magician. Now here comes Frank Viola. He'll have a word with his pitcher. Bullpen quiet right now for Vegas. You know, you were talking about your friend Leon Lee. I really enjoyed meeting him. I remember when he played for my Cardinals, and I was fascinated by all the different things he's done in baseball, including being a scout on the Pacific Rim. He said he's made 129 trips to Asia.
I think you had a very pertinent question for him, though.
Which was?
So how many guys have you signed from the Rim?
Well, he signed quite a few, in fact. His frequent flyer miles have to be just off the charts. But you and I have seen it in our travels. A lot of talent from all across the world, not just South America, Asia, Europe.
Whoa, good job there blocking the ball.
Lewicki. And a game-tying home run. Getting it done behind the plate.
After a great night in the field, be a good way to add to your resume with a little game winner.
Speaking of proud papas, Leon, of course, the father of Derek Lee, just an outstanding big league player.
Boy, he was. He went through a couple of years where he was just amazing.
River Cat fans frustrated. Flores to Allen. That'll do it. We'll go to the 10th. Bonus baseball here in Sacramento. River Cats 5, 51s 5. Minor league game of the week on the CBS Sports Network. Sacramento and Vegas tied at 5. 10th inning. Dick Gabriel, Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner, and a new pitcher on the bump. For the River Cats, 6'3", 190. He is Evan Scribner from Washington Depot, Connecticut. Made a brief appearance last year for Oakland. And 26 2/3 for the A's, and then came back to Sacramento. Numbers from this year, making his
23rd appearance.
Well, there's a lot of guys with big league experience on both these ball clubs, especially on this one.
Oakland right now has been shuttling people back and forth, but on its active roster, just a couple of players developed in its minor league system. And you can tell by all the guys we've talked about, they don't mind picking up other players from other major league franchises off waivers or via trade just to see what they can get. Oakland is obviously, after the book Moneyball and the film by the same name, famous for trying to stretch its dollar when it comes to baseball talent. Check out anybody and everybody, it seems.
And it's pretty convenient.
And it's working right now.
Well, it is working. Oh, that's right. Oakland's playing well. And it's very convenient, though. I mean, we're just an hour away.
Sacramento, like so many ball clubs, fairly close to the big club. Now, the 51s obviously are an exception to that rule. Right now, the AAA team for the Mets. Brandon Allen to lead things off. Scored back in the 8th inning. A 2-run uprising in the 8th for Las Vegas and a run in the 9th. Allen from Conroe, Texas. Houston area. Drafted by the White Sox in the 5th round back in '04.
Know right where that is. I played 6 years before I got an agent, and they were from Conroe, Texas.
He's been in the bigs with several teams. D-backs, the A's, the Rays. Also spent a year in Japan. Or Fukuoka.
Excuse me?
The Hawks.
Ah.
Got a big swing at a 3-1 pitch.
Yeah, may have swung at ball 4 too. But you want them to be aggressive. You'd rather be a little bit aggressive than not.
That's what you and Greg Vaughn talked about. Hammered high to center field. Nick Buss. 1 out. Under it just a tad, or that might have been a 6-5 game.
And I can see where that's almost like Death Valley, like a lot of these ballparks are. If you pull it, hit it in the gaps or down the line, it's going to go. But boy, the center fields in this league are big.
Well, he's got the power now. Allen only the 2nd player in history to hit a home run into the upper deck at the new Yankee Stadium.
Oh my goodness!
How about that? And in that same game, hit a shorter home run into the 2nd deck.
And everybody we see just bringing it 90, 90 plus.
Yep. But there's Corey Vaughn getting his hacks on the first pitch. Dad would have been proud, wouldn't he?
He sure would. Got a couple of hits tonight too.
Big bender. 0-2.
Well, that was a proud Papa talking, though, wasn't it? Nasty. Not fair.
Scribner made short work of him. 2 out.
Wow. Huh. Big old curveball.
Look how much that thing dropped.
You know, you see guys that are either throwing a curveball or a slider. Very few are throwing both. Big breaking ball there.
Now Matt Dendecker struck out his last time up. Doubled back in the 6th. You know, Corey Vaughn played for San Diego State and attended the funeral of his former coach, Tony Gwynn. And he made it back to Vegas that night for a ball game. Said he was just devastated by the death of Gwynn. A lot of people were.
You just never heard anybody say anything bad about him.
And then the stories that came pouring out after his death, people who had unbelievable experiences with him, just his kindness.
Yeah.
You know, from former bat boys.
Man, he could hit.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
mean, he was fun to watch. I remember when he first came up, he could run, he could hit, he could hoop.
Great basketball player. They said he might have been able to play pro ball.
I've heard that.
All-time assist leader at San Diego State. I got a chance to talk to him when I was covering some college baseball. And a base hit. Dendecker gives the 51s life. 2 out in the 10th. But you know, I asked Gwen about coaching college ball. Did you get a good look at Dendecker's swing?
Boy, wait. Kept his hands back on that slow breaking ball.
Let it travel. But I asked Gwen, I said, you know, you could have gone and gotten a coaching job, I'm sure, in pro ball. And he said he just really wanted to teach the game to young people at the college level. And the job opened up at his alma mater.
Well, there's something to be said for that, because having managed and coached in the minor leagues, when you get them young, they're very impressionable and they're also eager to learn. So,
but it was funny. He said, as well, he said, I thought, oh, I got this. This will be cake. And he said it absolutely was not. Matt Reynolds takes strike 1. And of course, you know, the college coach's work is never done.
True.
You know, you're recruiting and recruiting some more. But he loved it.
My hats goes off to all these guys that are coaching in this game, because it is not easy. You're the first one at the ballpark and the last one to leave, and your family time is basically non-existent.
Well, Steve Scarsoni talked about how he married a good baseball woman.
You better have one that's going to support you, that's for sure.
Matt Reynolds down on the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I got one that has texted me already. 32 years.
Hats off to you.
Well, in baseball terms, it's
and
like
her.
167.
Runner goes. Second strikeout of the inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the 10th. 5-5 in Sacramento on the minor league baseball game of the week. Blankets are out here in Sacramento. As we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, it is getting a little chilly. A little aerobic exercise, though, keeps you warm. Exactly what Doug Flynn is doing right now.
We got ours done this morning.
Actually, Doug's doing that.
That's my favorite dance. I'm usually not called upon to give dancing lessons.
Heart of the order will step up for Sacramento against that young man. Ryan Reed worked out of a jam in the bottom of the 9th inning when River Cats put a man on third. So now Shane Peterson with that 3-run double. We like that sign, the CBS Sports Network. That was the big blow back in the 3rd inning. Also singled in the 8th. Ryan finds that outside corner in the righty-lefty matchup. Peterson from Fallbrook, California.
There's a pretty good hack right there.
2nd round draft pick in 08.
You know, he and Fryman both thinking about one swing's going to end this thing.
Yep.
Or the way the ballpark is laid out, you hit one in the gap. And you got a chance now to put a runner in good scoring position, either 2nd or 3rd. Outfielder's playing deep, though, trying to eliminate the double.
Just staying alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Peterson 6 foot 210. Brief call up last year to Oakland. April 16th. Got himself an RBI. Hounded 12 homers last year for the River Cats. It's full. Peterson earlier this year with a 13-game hitting streak. And just 2 hits last weekend, or the last 4 games against New Orleans.
Yeah, they're ready to make a play.
Absolutely. Hit hard, but again, right at Flores, who made 2 plays to end the 9th inning. And there's 1 out.
The ball was hit right on the button. Flores does a good job getting over in front of it, getting down and making the play.
River Cats have driven 3 straight balls at Flores.
We're going to have to find somebody else to pick on, because I believe he can handle that spot.
Well, now Nate Fryman, RBI single in the 3rd, is struck out, bounced out, and grounded into a double play. Biggest bat in the lineup for the River Cats. Born in Washington, D.C. on New Year's Eve.
Well, you see somebody that big. I remember when Dave Winfield first came into the league. What a monster he was.
Talk about a free swinger.
Yeah. There's a guy drafted in 3 sports in the 1st round.
Wow. This young man led the Northwest League in RBIs, extra base hits. The Midwest League All-Star, California League All-Star. And now he represents the winning run. Fryman with his 2nd base hit of the night.
We know he runs well, but he's going to get somebody to run for him.
So the gamble now by Steve Scarsoni as he sends Derek Barton. Got the barrel on it, poked it through the infield. So they removed their best bat, hoping that this young man will come around. Jake Elmore will try to have a hand in that. Singled back in the 8th inning, stranded at 2nd. Barton with a modest lead.
Elmore looked like he was taking all the way that time, just in case he was going. But you're right, Dick. He did have a modest lead, not one that you would expect him to be stealing on. Oh.
That was a hot one. 0-2.
I like it. How could you miss there?
Easy. I ducked. Tell you what, that's one of the great things about minor league baseball is you're right on top of the action, but you got to pay attention.
You better pay at any ballpark.
Yeah. Here's the 0-2 to Elmore. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, outfield's still real deep, so on most routine singles, it's going to be 1st and 3rd. We're trying to keep that ball from getting between them in the gaps so that the run can't score.
Now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
I tell you, we've seen some of these guys, and we heard earlier, you know, these are just kids that are good ball players, but they put some really good at bats.
Elmore, born in Phoenix, went to Arizona State, actually drafted by the D-backs.
Oh,
closer than it needed to be.
Cousin Flynn over at first base. I didn't know I had family in the umpiring business. Spencer Flynn.
Interesting conversations at Christmas time. Foul ball. Did he come up clean? That's the question. Did the catcher catch it cleanly? Apparently not. Now Wally Backman's got a question about it. He's saying if my catcher caught it cleanly, it's strike 3. And he's right. That's essentially a foul tip. Let's take a look. Nope. Good
it
call,
hits the dirt.
Bounce. Good call.
It's a very tame Wally Backman that time. Yeah. And I heard the first base umpire immediately, you could see him pointing at his chest and going, I got it. That was my call. I got it. Hits the dirt. You know what they do a lot more now than they used to do is umpires will confer and get together to make sure they get the call right.
Yes.
And I think that's good. I'd rather see that than so much of the replay.
I knew you were going to say that.
Well, it only took me 10 innings to get it in.
I just like to see him get it right.
Spoken like a true former umpire.
Not at this level. Never had to face the kind of pressure these guys face.
Yeah, but when you look at the record, how good they really are.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, over 99% correct. 99.6.
And, you know, we talk a lot about the meal money and the scrapping that the guys do at the minor league level. That goes for the umpires, too.
Exactly.
And
I've seen them live in cars.
And there are no bonus babies when it comes to umpires. They get the lead runner, but that's it. So Matt Reynolds ranging far to his right with a strong throw to second, and there are 2 out.
He does a good job. You know, you would think, or my thinking was they were going to send that runner at some point in time. If he's going that time, he's in scoring position.
It would have been a tough play on Elmore. But now a man on first and 2 out for Anthony Aliotti. I mentioned that his dad was a quarterback in his college days. His uncle is a football coach at the University of Oregon, defensive coordinator, in fact, for the Ducks.
Well, they can put some points up in a hurry, can't they?
Man. And he's the DC, so his guys have to be ready to go back on the field at any minute. Hammered down the left field line. Fair ball. It'll go as a double.
Vaughn got to it pretty quick.
Corey Vaughn managed to run it down before Derek Barton could come around and even think about scoring.
If this ball bounces one more time or takes a short hop instead of bouncing up in the air, Vaughn doesn't have a chance to get it. Good job of hitting. Slices it down the left field line.
I said Barton, of course, it was Elmore who took his spot on the fielder's choice. But boy, look at Vaughn return that ball quickly.
Yeah, he does a good job of getting to it.
So now Elmore at third, Aliotti at second, and Jose Martinez with a chance to be a hero. 0 for 4 on the night.
Well, it's the second inning that they've had a chance to win it. Sacramento has had a chance to win it in their last half of the inning.
Winning run on third base back in the 9th.
Actually, in the 8th, they had a shot. Wow, good play right there.
Yeah, 2 runners on.
That's the difference between professional ball and amateur ball, is you see plays like that made most of the time by these catchers. And they are the hardest workers in spring training.
Martinez grounded to second his last time up. It's almost like Flores at second has single-handedly shut down the River Cats late in the game.
Yeah, he's had a lot of plays, some of them pretty tough. That's why he's been a big leaguer and just got sent down.
He's had 4 assists since that play with 2 out in the 8th. 1-1. How about a 5th?
We'll try him again.
So once again, the River Cats put the winning run at third, but they can't chase him home, and we'll go to the 11th. Sacramento 5, Las Vegas 5. Minor league game of the week. CBS Sports Network. It is still 5-5 here in the 11th, but not for lack of trying by the River Cats. They keep putting runners on base, but Las Vegas keeps fighting them off. Lost a little bit of the crowd after that last rally fell short. You see Scribner on the bump for the 2nd inning. Derek Barton remains in the game. He ran for Fryman, and he'll play first base now. The River Cats offense has been dormant since the 4th inning, but as Doug pointed out, many opportunities here in the late going.
And a good job by the relief pitcher too that's come in. Done a very, very good job.
So now Wilmer Flores, the man who's been so busy defensively, will lead things off. Flores hacking away at that first pitch.
You know, this aggressive swinging ball club right now just trying to find a run any way you can.
Opening game of a 4-game set against the division leaders from the north and south, Sacramento and Las Vegas. I guess we should have expected a game like this.
Exactly.
Here's the 0-2 from Scribner.
Ooh, good pitch right there.
It was indeed. Now the 1-2.
Took something off of that a little bit. Good sinker.
Action in the Vegas bullpen again. 2-2 pitch. Changing speeds. Another broken bat, or did he? Nicely done at third base. Jose Martinez. I think he just lost his bat. Yep, it's fine.
Well, you're right. He does do a good job with that one. No wasted motion. Catches it and all in one motion, makes a good throw to first base. Of course, they play it awfully deep, playing no doubles, guarding the line.
Now Andrew Brown. Set him down on strikes back in the 9th inning. Such a huge out at the time. 2 hitters later, though, a tie game. Brown with a homer earlier, trying to get every bit of that one.
Might be Buddy Carlisle getting loose down in the bullpen for Las Vegas.
The 0-1 to Brown. Fooled him with an off speed.
We're seeing a little bit of everybody tonight. If you're on the roster, we got a chance to see you play tonight.
Well, they have. There's Buddy Carlisle in the bullpen. They've put together an outstanding game for our cameras.
Ooh. Breaking ball that looked like it sort of backed up, didn't really break a lot.
It looked like it froze him as well, but just missed inside. Here's the 1-2. Blew it by him again. 2 out.
Well, we're seeing some really good arms in these organizations. Just good gas right by him.
So with 2 outs, Alan Dykstra hit a fly ball in the 9th inning. That was the 2nd out as Las Vegas was down to its last batter. The man in the on-deck circle just snuck it out of the yard. Kevin Plawecki, and tied this game up in the bottom of the 9th.
Breaking ball, breaking ball. Seeing a little bit of everything. I'm impressed by the pitchers tonight.
Two balls, 1 strike. And in case you're wondering, Alan Dykstra is not related to Lenny Dykstra. Could get something to hit right here. 3-1 pitch. That's a good one on the outside edge. Dykstra played his college ball at Wake Forest. Hails from San Diego. Came all the way across the country to play college ball for the Deacons. How about that for an off-speed pitch? Back-to-back strikeouts. Scribner shuts him down in the 11th. We'll go to the bottom of the inning. Still tied at 5 in Sacramento. Minor league game of the week on the CBS Sports Network. Bottom of the 11th inning, Sacramento, the homestanding River Cats tied up with Las Vegas. Total of 19 base hits on the night. Bottom of the order will lead things off for the River Cats. Buddy Carlisle takes the mound for the 51s. 30 strikeouts in those 28 innings, and look at that ERA.
Yeah, that's very impressive. The last 6 innings they've given up nothing. Their bullpen has come in here and done an outstanding job.
Carlisle from Tyrone, Georgia. Spent all of last season with Buffalo, where he struck out 76 in 56 innings. And a new second baseman now for the 51s, Omar Quintanilla. Quintanilla, a former first-round pick, a supplemental pick back in '03. Since then, he played with the Rockies, Rangers, for the Mets, spent time in the Orioles chain, and with Texas Longhorn. Played for the '02 championship team. Hats off, by the way, to the Vanderbilt Commodores for winning the College World Series. We will likely see some of their ball players in the minor leagues very quickly.
Yeah, some of their pitchers. Good night. They have 6 guys that do 95 plus.
Yep, something like that. So Colin Walsh to lead things off, a switch hitter. You know, he looked like he was on his way in 2012 with St. Louis. That year he had 16 home runs, twice as many in his first 2 seasons combined in only 97 games. In fact, he was named the Cardinals Minor League Player of the Month that year in May. They invited him to the instructional camp after the season,
which is always an honor because that means they think something up.
Yeah. But he just couldn't quite keep it going the next year, and then signed with Oakland as a free agent, minor leaguer, back in April of this year. Action in the Sacramento bullpen. Paul Smythe. There's going to come a point, perhaps, where both managers have to look at somebody and say, son, you got to burn some innings for me.
Yeah.
This is the first game of the series.
That's right. Well, you bring in a position player. Whoa.
Got him looking. What were you saying about the Vegas bullpen?
Wow, they've just done a. The pitch is kind of down. He may have a little reason to argue with that one. 2 strikes, though. You got to try to be protective. But I tell you, this bullpen has done a wonderful job.
Yep.
I mean, we came in here and hearing so much about Syndergaard, and his buddies have picked him up.
Go back downstairs to Lauren Gardner. Lauren.
Bottom of the 11th, guys. Whoever said this game was moving fast was a little bit off, but you know what? These fans are diehard. I'm here with Carol Walty, season ticket holder of 15 years. Carol, you're a little disappointed that we didn't get the base hit there. How are you doing right now? You're hanging in there.
Of course, I'm going to hang in there till we win. You know, it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. We're going to win it.
I love that attitude. Now you have some signs here. Can you show our cameras over there what you have here?
Well, here we go.
Pacific Coast League, we love our River Cats, and then Diamond's our girl's best friend. She's not messing around. I mean, you live and die with this team, huh?
I do. I just love AAA baseball. It's the best, you know, and then we get to see them play at this level, and then they go up to Oakland, and we get to see them play in the bigs, and sometimes we go up there and see them play, and they're happy to see us come see them there.
That's a blast. And let's talk about these earrings real quick. Can you show those off? Those are beautiful.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I don't even remember where I got them, but I have a lot of baseball jewelry. After 15 years, my collection's pretty big.
They're wonderful looking, and it looks like a base hit there for Nick Buss. Well, Carol, thank you so much, guys. I don't want to alarm you, but she told me a few minutes ago that she sat here for 18 innings one time. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, if that happens, bring her up here and she can call the game for us.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren. That is a diehard fan right there. And Nick Buss does deliver the base hit. So once again, the winning run on base for the 3rd time in as many innings. Up to Andy Perino to try to bring him around somehow.
We're getting a lot of 2-out hits with nobody on, but not any hits with somebody in scoring position. Just a tip of the hat to these pitchers too. They've done an outstanding job.
Really, both bullpens of late. River Cats finally managed to slow the momentum of the 51s. Andy Perino ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes.
You have a nickname like the Magician or anything like that?
I wish.
You play in New York, you get nicknames, but
can't repeat them.
No. Well, he's getting himself in a precarious situation now because you got a pretty good hitter on deck.
That's Shane Peterson. Going to try to battle back from 3-0.
They gave him the green light. Hammer to right. Go back. Look up. Good night.
Wow.
The magician made that ball disappear. And the River Cats finally win it.
You don't normally see your number 2 hitter get the green light on 3-0, but that ball was hammered to right field. It was just a great job defensively all night tonight, and then the big bomb to end the game.
Nick Buss scores ahead of him. The 2-run blast. And the fans who stuck around, including the young lady who talked to our Lauren Gardner, rewarded with a victory. 7-5 Sacramento over Las Vegas.
That is special right there.
Let's go downstairs to Lauren with a happy River Cat. Lauren.
A very happy magician. What was going through your mind when you got the green light there on 3-0?
I just got a good pitch to hit and try to hit a home run.
And how special is it to end this game in the fashion that you did? It seems like at batting practice, this team really likes one another. You guys are really having a good time out there.
Yeah, you know, we definitely have fun, but when it's time to go to work, we do it the right way and we get after it.
And, oh, here comes the Gatorade bath. I'm getting out of the way. How'd that one feel?
Felt good. Felt
pretty good. So what do you think about this name, the Magician?
Just gonna run with it. It's been working, going well, so we'll go with it and see how long it lasts.
And on the mound tonight, what impressed you about the efforts of Josh Lindblom?
He did a great job. I don't know if he had many strikeouts, but he let our defense do the work, and he went right after guys.
The start of an 8-game homestand now. These fans stayed here. They cheered you guys on. What is it like to play here in Sacramento?
It's great. I mean, it's one of the, if not the best minor league stadium and fans around. So.
What does this win do to set the tone for the rest of the homestand?
Hopefully we'll keep it going. It's a good team we're playing, so you know all the runs count.
I would say go celebrate, but you're probably going to go to bed. It's getting late.
Yeah, I'm going to head to bed.
All right, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lauren. That is one happy River Cat. What a night he had. And as much as you like middle infielders for their defense, you had to like the way he ended this one.
I'm just jealous because I could never do that. Yeah, that was a bomb right there. And like I say, you don't normally see your number 2 hitter get an opportunity to get the green light. But, man, when you do get it, you have to make it pay off. And he took a good swing and just hit that ball a mile.
Well, he told Lauren, he said, I was trying to hit a home run.
Well, that's true. He got 3-0, and you're going to at least take one shot to drive the ball as far as you can. And, I mean, that ball was hit a long way. He's not a big guy. But, boy, he hit that ball a long way, and his defense is just superb. And that's the blue-collar type work that you get from this ball club. You got guys that just go out and fundamentally do everything you're supposed to do right.
Well, and give Nick Buss credit as well. With 2 outs, he delivers the base hit and scores ahead of him on that hit.
That's exactly right. I mean, we said they hadn't been getting a hit with runners in scoring position in 2 outs, but he kept the rally alive, got him a single, and then you never know.
Our thanks to all the folks here in Sacramento and at Raley Field for all the help. That'll do it from Sacramento, where the final score, River Cats beat the 51s 7-5 and 11. For Doug Flynn, Lauren Gardner, our entire crew, I'm Dick Gabriel. Be sure to join us next Thursday, July 3rd, as the Myrtle Beach Pelicans host the Winston-Salem Dash, 8 o'clock Eastern on CBS Sports Network. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. 7-5, Sacramento wins it. That's it. Good night from Northern California.